Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. State police in Indianapolis are looking for witnesses in a case where a man was found shot to death in a van on Interstate 65 Sunday afternoon.
Maybe they heard the gunfire, or they heard something they thought was gunfire. Maybe they saw a vehicle interacting with this Nissan Quest minivan. Maybe they saw a person in or around this van in that area. So anything that somebody saw could be valuable to our case.
State Police Sergeant John Perrine. If you know anything, give State Police a call. IMPD says a fatal police shooting inside a semi-trailer last Thursday at a McDonald's on the south side was a hostage situation. Officers responded to a call for help and showed up to Lamont Bland's truck to ask a few questions. Bland ignored them, but police broke out the driver's side window once they heard a woman shout for help from inside. Officers tried to talk with Bland while he threatened to kill the woman with a knife. Once inside the truck, police say one of their officers shot Bland when they saw him on top of the woman. He graduated from Notre Dame, played for the Colts. He's now running for office. Wes Woodward reports.
Republican Representative Donna Scheibele is retiring from the Indiana House, and former Indianapolis Colts punter Hunter Smith wants to succeed her. Smith played for 10 seasons for the Colts and earned a Super Bowl ring in 2007. He finished up his NFL career with a 2-year stint in Washington. Smith is motivated by issues such as adoption and low taxes, and because of his regenerative farm business, environmental issues are also an interest. Smith is a Sherman, Texas native and now resides in Boone County. He is also a Notre Dame graduate and was drafted by the Colts in 1999. Wes Woodward, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle says the in-season tournaments allowed his young team to play in some meaningful games.
We need our building to be as loud and raucous as it possibly can, and we're going to need to throw a game out there that's exceptional. And I realize it, and I think our players realize it.
The Pacers play the Celtics tonight. Winner advances to the semifinal in Las Vegas. Tip-off at 7:30. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Hey, it's Rob. I started losing hair around my crown, and my hairline was starting to recede. I went to We Grow Hair Indy, and they helped grow my hair back. My friend Dave First, a sports broadcaster for over 20 years, also struggled with hair loss. Dave, what happened?
My thinning hair was bothering me. For me, I'm in the public eye. I'm a dad also, and I want to look and feel my best. And if I'm going to do something about my hair, I want to go with the best. We Grow Hair Indy. They really set the standard.
Dave, that's amazing. I had the same procedure, multi-unit hair grafting transplants, which gives you more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Call 317-522-2995 for your free hair and scalp evaluation. Find out if hair transplants or PRP is right for you.
If you're thinking about this, don't waste your time or money. Go to the experts.
Call 317-522-2995, 522-2995, or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com, the gold standard for hair restoration.
The traffic in the fives at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
Good afternoon, Harrison. Looking at eastbound is 70 the off ramp to west. It's partially blocked because of a spilled load. Also northbound 37 slow out of the south side to the south side, Epler Avenue up to 465. It's a work zone. That's the I-69 construction zone until the end of 2024. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. Dogfight injury. Call Isaacs and Isaacs, the law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years to fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy today with some sunshine peeking out later this afternoon. Highs near 44. Clouds return overnight tonight with lows near 32. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Hammer, your birthplace, Beech Grove. Back in the news again. It's had quite a stretch here the past couple of weeks. The shooting at KFC. Those guys did they try to steal the ATM? Was that in Beech Grove?
No, the ATM was not in Beech Grove. Okay. But the KFC shooting was, and this morning, a little police chase involved Beech Grove.
Oh, no.
So there was a carjacking that took place, I believe it started at 52nd and Mithofer in Lawrence last night around 11. The police say somebody whipped out a gun, carjacked, got the vehicle, and then took off. So the police chase was going on, and then the Beech Grove police officer spotted the vehicle. They got involved in the pursuit, And then next thing you know, this flagged stolen Mazda just gets dropped off on South Emerson around 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, if you don't know the Beech Grove area, South Emerson's like the big main strip there off of the highway, kind of where Great Times is, Expo Bowl is, that little area.
Yeah.
So the car got ditched. 2 guys run off. They capture one of them. And at least as of right now, the other one is still on the run. But this was an armed carjacking. And it feels like, Nigel, we've been talking about carjackings, violent armed carjackings, a lot more lately.
Yeah, and they're pretty common, not only here in Indianapolis, but, I mean, for God's sake, didn't somebody try to carjack Joe Biden's granddaughter's Secret Service agents?
Right.
I mean, they happen all over the place.
It's really bad in Washington, D.C.
Prevalent in Chicago, and it's showing no signs of slowing down.
So the investigators did recover a firearm during the search of the vehicle. And again, one person in custody, police looking for the other person that ditched the car around Emerson and Victory Drive there on the south side by Beech Grove.
So at least they found one guy. They didn't find any of those 2 jokers that stole the ATM.
Which floors me.
I know.
Like, why didn't the Secret Service just do Secret Service stuff and kill those guys immediately?
Yeah, right. But I'm saying the guys that stole the ATM on the south side.
Oh, those guys, yeah.
They didn't find those guys.
No, they were dragging an ATM and as of right now got away with it. So while that was going on the south side from Lawrence down to Beech Grove, we had another shooting on the northeast side that left another teenage girl dead.
Man.
Feels like juvenile and female victims are just skyrocketing lately.
We've broken a record here in Indianapolis for juvenile homicides. It's in the mid to 20s now, I believe.
And this was a female victim, and I pray for the parents of this community to start teaching your kids right from wrong, because clearly there's an issue with that here in Marion County. Nobody wants to have a discussion about the value of life and the ramifications of it. It's a mess. And before all the gun nuts come in, maybe we'll talk about this with Guy Relford when he comes in for Monday Gun Day. Keep in mind, a lot of these juveniles, they can't own a firearm in the first place. So do you really think any other sort of law to make it tougher for law-abiding citizens is going to help here?
Well, yeah, a law that would eliminate your ability to own guns. That law.
Well, that's not going to happen.
The law that would take away legal gun owners' rights. Those kinds of laws. They think that would be the answer.
There's a law against murder, and clearly nobody wants to pay attention to that. There's a law against theft. There's a law against a lot of things that all of the criminals ignore. Why? Because they're criminals. That's why they ignore all of that stuff. Big Nige, the war in Israel, it's back on. There's a little pause there. There's a little time out there for a little bit. But,
war on!
Game on!
War on!
Biden Secretary of State Anthony Blinken did a little presser earlier today. Now, we're going to play you some audio, and he's kind of outside of like the Air Force One area, so you're going to hear the big engine kind of revving up and humming. But this floors me. Blinken, he's shocked. He can't believe that the upright, awesome citizens of Hamas reneged on the deal.
It's also important to understand why the pause came to an end. It came to an end because of Hamas. Hamas reneged on commitments it made. In fact, even before the pause came to an end, it committed an atrocious terrorist attack in Jerusalem, killing 3 people, wounding others, including Americans. It began firing rockets before the pause had ended, and as I said, it reneged on the commitments it made in terms of releasing certain hostages. We remain intensely focused on getting everyone home, getting hostages back. It's something that I also worked on today. So we're still at this.
It's almost like, Hammer, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost like you probably shouldn't trust anything Hamas has to say or do.
Donald Trump Jr., your thoughts?
No shit.
So Blinken is shocked that Hamas weren't good guys. It reminds me of that scene in The Hangover where they realized that they had been drugged by Alan and Alan got the wrong drugs.
But it wasn't ecstasy, Alan. It was roofies. You think I knew that, Stu? The guy I bought it from seemed like he was a real straight shooter. I'm sorry. You mean the drug dealer at the liquor store wasn't a good guy?
The drug dealer at the liquor store is not a good guy. Hamas is not a good group of people. Shocking. This has all been bad news, right? I hate this, open up segments with bad news, but let's end it with some good news. Can we do that?
Please.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Now, I love this. I'm just telling you right now. Spoiler, I'm okay with it and I love it.
All right.
I'm going to run this by you.
All right.
Normally you do this to me. I'm going to run it by you.
Let's do it.
Things got a little rowdy at the IU basketball game this past Friday because they introduced the new football coach, Kurt Cignetti. And they brought him out there during a timeout. And, they give him a microphone and he's addressing the crowd. And then we got a Purdue sucks out of the coach. And then we got a so does Michigan and Ohio State out of the coach.
Hey, look, I'm super fired up about this opportunity. I've never taken a back seat to anybody and don't plan on starting now. Purdue sucks. But so does Michigan and Ohio State.
So, Nige, are you okay with that?
Yeah, but it's sort of locker room billboard material for the teams. I mean, I can't wait till Purdue. Was he talking about Purdue basketball or Purdue football, or does it matter?
He's talking about Purdue.
Just in general? I love it. Yeah, get the crowd fired up, although January 16th when Purdue, number 4, currently ranked Purdue, comes to Bloomington, it might, that might come back to haunt the football coach.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
I think the football coach is predominantly talking football, though. And listen, if you're Indiana,
He just said Michigan sucks.
and
Really?
Ohio State, if you're the Hoosier football program,
talking
though,
about?
aren't you okay with this? Like, aren't you loving the fact that somebody is finally trying to bring some life into that program? And what's funny is when I saw this happen on Friday, because I was watching the game, the basketball game, where they brought the football coach out, and I put that on our Twitter, and it started blowing up, and everybody sharing it and making comments. You can tell the people who have no idea about this segment are, because this segment is called Are You Okay With This? And people are coming at us. Are you not okay with this, snowflake? But no, that's not what we're doing here. That's the name of the segment. We do various stories with Are You Okay With This? Because I love it. I love when sports is competitive, and I love it when rivalries matter. And right now, IU versus Purdue in football stinks. So somebody needs to bring a little juice into this thing.
All right.
Good for the coach, man.
Okay.
I love it. Matt Baer, what's going on?
All right, Hammer, looking at eastbound 72 West Street. It is a spilled load, partially blocking the off-ramp. The ramp is open. Also, looking at southbound 6570 downtown, we have slowed down from Michigan Street to Washington Street, and a little bit of slow on southbound 65 at West. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs Dogfight Injury. Call Isaacs and Isaacs. The law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Our pal Eddie White stopped by the studio earlier. We got these Pacers in-season tournament towels here, like
Pretty
little
cool.
rally towels. They're passing these things out at the game tonight.
Are you going?
I don't think I can make it tonight, but
It's the playoff thing.
yeah, it's the in-season tournament. The winner goes to Vegas in this NBA in-season tournament, and it's going to feel like a playoff game in there tonight. They got the rally towels going, and the Celtics are in town. Tip-off is at 7:30. 46 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
If you haven't gotten your special someone a holiday gift yet, or maybe you just need that one final present to round things out, this Christmas, Pajamagram.com has your back with a deluxe gift set that includes a satin nightie, a robe, plus a free satin eye mask, all wrapped up in an elegant satin keepsake bag.
So if I'm adding this up right, that's four gifts delivered right to your door, ready to go under the tree. Silky, sensuous, glides over the skin, designed to make her feel amazing. And trust me, guys, you are going to like the way she looks in it. If you ask me, the Smooth Seduction Satin gift set, that is the one right there. So don't wait. Get it before it sells out, because it will. Go to Pajamagram.com and get the Smooth Seduction Satin Nightie, Robe, Eye Mask, Keepsake Bag. That's the Smooth Seduction Satin gift set at Pajamagram, and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-593-4411. 800-593-4411. 800-593-4411.
Yeah, my mom just had Window Nation windows installed in her house. She says they look beautiful. The whole experience was super, according to my mom. I have Window Nation windows. They keep the cold air out and the warm air in. Now is the time to replace those old drafty windows with 0% for 5 years. 0% financing for 5 years with Window Nation.
If you haven't called Window Nation just to have a conversation with one of their amazing staff members, you're doing yourself a disservice. At least call and talk and lock this deal in, even if you're just thinking about getting new windows, because this deal is a game changer. 0% interest for 5 years and half off all style of windows. And the more windows you buy, the more free ones you get, because there's no limit. 866-90-NATION. Talk to a staff member at Window Nation. Lock the deal in. 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
More than 1 out of 4 older people suffers from a fall each year, but less than half tell their doctor. Falls can lead to hospitalizations, nursing home stays, disability, and even death. Learn more about fall prevention and recovery by attending the free Holistic Integration Open House event. Stay safe, stay upright on Wednesday, December 13th at 6 p.m. You'll hear from Dr. Robert Prather, host of the Voice of Health Radio. You'll learn how holistic integration is uniquely positioned to help our patients avoid falls due to our non-pharmaceutical approach, extensive lab tests, and help with postural issues that lead to falls. Healthy refreshments provided. Those who attend will receive a free balance assessment and posture screen. The Holistic Integration Open House event featuring Dr. Robert Prather, Wednesday, December 13th at 6 p.m. RSVP by calling 317-848-8048 or register online at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Hi, this is Denny Smith. When it comes to your well, preventive maintenance is the key to safe and reliable water. C&J is offering their well cleaning special, and it's a deal that really helps improve the quality of the water you consume every day. To prevent problems, you simply must do a bacteria sampling, AMPS test on the pump, switch analysis, pressure tank check, piping exam, and a flow evaluation. Clean your well to protect the water you drink, bathe in, and wash your clothes. Call C&J to keep your water source safe, sanitary, and reliable. 317-852-WELL.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies. including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens. And it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You know, Hammer, I was disappointed our boy Jaws only lost by a couple of ounces in the St. Elmo shrimp eating contest over the weekend. He's going to stop coming in before this thing, because the past two, you were trash-talking Esper, though. It was funny how you trash-talked Esper, and he ended up winning.
He went back-to-back, didn't he?
But it was just by, I think, a couple ounces, right, girls? It was just a couple of ounces, and but Esper still ended up winning. Huge event there on South
Made for
Street.
a good show.
Yes.
It did make for a great show. And we've got some amazing in-studio guests. So if you jump on the YouTube stream, you'll be able to see them. But if not, turn it up, because we're talking about Christmas and booze coming together, giving each other a high five. We've got Andrea and Stephanie here. Now, for the most part, Andrea, you guys work with St. Elmo, but now this is kind of a special event featuring St. Elmo. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so
Lean up a little bit closer in that microphone. There you go.
We're with Hughes Culinary. So St. Elmo, family of brands, HC Tavern and Kitchen up in Fishers, Indiana.
Okay. It's like a pop-up bar, right?
Yes, exactly. Like a pop-up bar. We totally converted the patio space at the HC Tavern into a Whoville hideaway, a Grinch-themed experience.
Looking at it right now, it looks awesome.
So the HC Tavern's patio has been turned into the Whoville hideaway, where you can go and get some libations, so to speak. Now, Stephanie, talk to us about some of the libations in question here.
I definitely think the cocktail menu is one of the best parts about the Whoville hideaway. Our beverage team, we're just able to have a lot of fun creating seasonal flavors and fun festive cocktail drinks that they come in real whimsical glassware,
right.
and just they really reflect the Grinch theme, but also just that holiday spirit that everybody loves to embrace right now.
And let's be honest, you got to have a little booze to get through the holidays. Let's just be honest right there.
Our holidays are always such a mess. How'd you get through it? Had a lot of help from St. Elmo. Cocktails.
Yeah, and actually one of the drinks, it's our Whoville Hot Toddy.
Is this what this is you gave me?
Yes,
here?
that's what you guys are trying right now.
Oh, well.
I love the Hot Toddy.
It's a little seasonal twist on the regular Hot Toddy. We're actually mixing it with our St. Elmo Cocktails all-new barrel-aged old-fashioned.
That is delicious.
Let me take a little drink here.
Yeah, we've got one of these in the back, actually. It's halfway gone. But
oh, man. Hot Toddy, God almighty. That's pretty good right there.
Yeah.
That right there is a holiday beverage.
And that's one of the many different warm cocktails you could buy, or you could get at the Whoville hideaway.
Exactly, yeah. So we've got some other drinks. We've got Cheers Grinches and the Martha Margarita. So we're really trying to tie things back into the theme of the movie. Keep it whimsical. Keep it boozy.
Love that.
Now, you guys got cool jobs. How do you end up working for St. Elmo, one of the most awesome steakhouses in the country? That's a cool gig, right?
It's a pretty cool gig.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of luck.
Well, you guys do a great job because, again, you just brought a whole motley crew of folks in here on Friday to promote the big shrimp eating contest on Georgia Street. And now we've got the Whoville Hideaway, which is up in Fishers at the HC Tavern, and you guys are partnered with them. How do you guys pick and choose who you want to partner with? Because your brand is so iconic, you don't want to just hitch your wagon to something that's, beneath you, right?
I would say we wear a lot of hats, and we go from our restaurant hat to our retail hat to our spirits hat, and we just kind of interchange them all day, every day.
Oh, that's solid. Now, if somebody wants to buy a bottle of this new line of Old Fashioned, can they get that at a liquor store, or do you have to go straight to St. Elmo to get it?
No, this is actually in Indiana liquor and grocery stores now. You'll probably see it says special limited release. Once the shipment that's in the stores is gone, then we won't be selling this product anymore.
You're leaving this here, right? You're leaving this.
Yeah, that's
here, right?
that's for you.
In no way did that sound like a threat from Nigel.
Hey, by the way, what do you ever get in trouble? Do you actually accidentally slip up and sometimes call St. Elmo's?
With the S at the end?
Because I've done that before, and like people like crucify us on Twitter. Like, I know it's St. Elmo, but we add the S sometimes.
We're
like
Indiana Hicks, and sometimes we put S's on things that don't need to have an S.
We got Myers, we got St. Elmo's,
Kroger's.
Yeah.
It's kind of an Indiana thing that you add an S to it. My old man, my dad takes it up a notch. He'll add an R where there's supposed to be an S. Like Washington becomes Washington.
Yes.
That's Stone Cold Steve Hammer there. So the Whoville Hideaway, 21 and over.
21 and over, that's correct.
So we don't have to worry about whiny kids running around, being a pain in the backside. We can just go there for some adult holiday fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's open Saturday through Tuesday, 4 p.m. to close.
Cool.
And no reservations needed, so you can just come on in, say that you're here for the pop-up, and go up and get your picture and all the super fun decor. Sometimes the Grinch himself is there. Right. Get your picture with him, have some fun drinks.
Hammer, I didn't know you'd be making an appearance.
Yes, I've been known to be a Grinch from time to time.
Before we let you go, how did you make this drink? This is just the old-fashioned warmed up, the barrel-aged old-fashioned. You guys warmed it up?
So we have
this is delicious.
We have apple cider and a little bit of honey.
Oh,
and
okay.
The barrel-aged old-fashioned.
Okay. All
so
right.
this is actually good for our throats, and that's what I'm telling our management team when they're wondering why I don't have pants on in the third hour. Well, it's supposed to be good for your throat.
So cider, honey, and St. Elmo Old Fashioned. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. This is delicious.
Where can we get more information on everything?
Everything is at the HC's website, which is at thehc.com.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, Andrea. You guys rock. Merry Christmas.
Thank you guys. Merry Christmas.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Mow, dig, haul, lift. The versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota, or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
My husband Bob has Parkinson's and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. The program begins in summer of 2024. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Inspired by family traditions and peaceful harmony. Inspired by the reason for the season, our Savior's birth and his gift of grace. Inspired by joyfully serving you as we do Christ in our Franciscan tradition. This Christmas season, we invite you to join us in our prayer for peace. Merry Christmas from all of us at Franciscan Health.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Found in a van, 47 degrees, cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. You got a clear radar, low of 32 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. State police in Indianapolis are looking for witnesses in a case where a man was found shot and killed inside of a van on Interstate 65 Sunday.
Maybe they heard the gunfire, or they heard something they thought was gunfire. Maybe they saw a vehicle interacting with this Nissan Quest minivan. Maybe they saw a person in or around this van in that area. So anything that somebody saw could be valuable to our case.
Indiana State Police Sergeant John Perrine says if you know anything, give state police a call. The Monroe County Coroner's Office has identified Tariq Bridgewaters as the 23-year-old who was shot and killed at a Bloomington house party Sunday morning. A 19-year-old also shot. They were sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Isaiah Ramos was arrested in the shooting. The former U.S. ambassador to Bolivia is being charged with acting as a secret foreign agent for Cuba.
This action exposes one of the highest reaching and longest lasting infiltrations of the U.S. government by a foreign agent.
Attorney General Merrick Garland says 73-year-old Manuel Rocha secretly supported the Republic of Cuba and an intelligence gathering mission against the U.S. He was 15 years old when he committed murder. Ryan Hedrick explains an Elkhart teenager will spend some time in prison.
A lot of it. Prosecutors say Corian Mew shot and killed Logan Nussbaum while he was driving his car, causing Nussbaum's vehicle to careen into two unoccupied vehicles and then into some trees. Mew is a known gang member who has agreed to serve a sentence no longer than 60 years. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC, Mobile News.
And Reverend Robert Dowd has been elected as the 18th president of the University of Notre Dame. He's going to replace Reverend John Jenkins, who had the job for 19 years. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
With traffic at 3:33, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, coming into downtown, southbound 65, slow 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 Titans from West Street to Meridian, Illinois. And then on the south side, northbound 37, slow to come up from Employer 2465. It's a work zone. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy today with some sunshine peeking out later this afternoon. Highs near 44. Clouds return overnight tonight with lows near 32. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gun Day with the Gun Guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
Yeah, I'm Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. The Gun Guy, Guy Relford, host of the Gun Guy Show, licensed firearms instructor and Second Amendment attorney, joining us here in the studio. Guy, how are you?
Man, I'm great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located right in the store. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street or premierarms.com.
All right, give us an update here on Mayor Hogsett, the gun plan that he wants to put in place for Marion County that's probably not going to go through. You do have an update, right?
Well, a little bit.
I mean, he campaigned on this thing.
Yeah.
And so did Sharif, for that matter, his opponent.
Well, we got some really good insight anyway, because as you recall, you know, we had this city county council proposal get adopted. They've passed an ordinance that says if the state legislature amends the Indiana Firearms Preemption Act that otherwise prevents local governments from regulating firearms, then the city of Indianapolis is going to impose certain restrictions on your gun rights. And one of them is going to ban assault weapons. One of them is they're going to roll back constitutional carriages where you have to have a license. One of them is they're going to ban all concealed carry. And the last is they're going to require you to be 21 to buy any firearm in Marion County. And, you know, as you and I have talked about, and by the way, then here just in the last week or two, we've had a state senator from Indianapolis, north side of Indianapolis, Fadi Kadura, I believe is his name, introduce or at least float around a bill that would in fact amend the state preemption statute to allow Marion County and any other local government to do exactly what we're talking about. And at the time, you guys and I talked about it. I said, well, first of all, there's no appetite to do this in the General Assembly, so that's going to be dead on arrival. Separately, none of this is constitutional. And even if they were allowed to put this thing into effect, I'd be the first lawyer to sue them, and I will win. Well, what just happened, I believe on Friday, it was the first, and what happened is a federal court, it was actually in West Virginia, but a federal court came out and ruled on the federal statute that says you have to be 21 to buy a handgun. That's already federal law, right? And Indiana was going to say, well, you already have to be 21 to buy a handgun, so now we're going to raise the age to 21 to buy a rifle or a shotgun. We just had a federal court that came out and said, you know what? Under the new test, and we talk about this all the time, the new test that came down out of the Supreme Court last year in the Bruin case of looking at the text of the Second Amendment and the history of tradition of regulation of guns in this country, under that test, even the federal statute that says you have to be 21 to buy a handgun is unconstitutional. And I think that's absolutely correct. I think that's going to be a ruling across the country. If the Supreme Court takes it, I think they'll agree. So what likelihood do you think there is that if it's unconstitutional for the federal government to require you to be 21 just to buy a handgun, that Marion County can get away with requiring you to be 21 to buy any firearm whatsoever? I submit to you there's zero chance of that. And like when I argued against this this proposal in the City County Council, when I argued against it at the time, I said, did the lawyers on the City County Council, were they absent the day they taught law in law school? Because none of this is going to be constitutional, and y'all should know that. And we just had a federal court come out with rather emphatic support for that argument.
And what cracks me up is that the City County Council spent so much time working on this instead of focusing on some real issues that could help people in Indianapolis. They're focusing on the spelling of the word counselor and a bunch of crap that's never going to become the law in the first place.
Forgot about that.
That's such an important point. And right along those same lines, look at the other proposals. Ban assault weapons. Well,
what's that mean?
Well, good point, since it's really hard for any politician to ever define an assault weapon. But let's just say it's semi-automatic rifles with detachable magazines. We'll define it very broadly. That's the most commonly owned rifle in America. The Supreme Court says those are protected by the Second Amendment. And find me a law that existed in 1791 when the Second Amendment was ratified, or 1868 when the 14th Amendment, which made the Bill of Rights applicable to the states. Find me a law at that time that's consistent with that kind of regulation. There are none. So under text, history, and tradition, the new test we have just since last summer, they can't sustain such a ban. And they should know that. If they pay any attention whatsoever to this area of the law, they should know that. But the bottom line, guys, is they don't care.
Right.
First of all, they wanted to introduce the proposed ordinance to begin with, so that they can stand up and go, look at us, we're tough on gun crime, even though that regulation, that restriction would only apply to law-abiding citizens. Criminals aren't going to care. It would only affect law-abiding citizens. So, but and they knew that, but they can stand up to their base, to their voting base, and say, look at us, we're being tough on gun crime, we're going to reduce violence in Indianapolis, and the whole thing's a complete farce.
Go back to the mayor's election that we recently had.
Yep.
Do you think it would have made any difference at all if instead of agreeing with all that, Jefferson Shreve said, my opponent wants to do stuff that will never become law. That's not really the job of the mayor. My plan is to do this, 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 and lay it out. Do you think that would have made any difference at all?
Well, any difference at all? Absolutely. Would it have put Jefferson Shreve over the top to win the election? I think that's tough.
Could have at least maybe made it close.
I could have absolutely made it close, because how many people did you hear from, did I hear from, whether on social media, people that called into my show? Social media was a huge one. People in the media who said, I'm not going to bother to vote for mayor, or I'm going to vote in the municipal election, but I'm going to leave mayor blank, because I'm not voting for Jefferson Shreve, because he's as much of a gun control proponent and an anti-constitutionalist as Hogsett is. How many of those people did you hear from? It was everywhere.
And that's the thing. It's going against the Constitution, something can never become the law. That's not your job. And the danger, and Guy, we've talked about this a lot, was if you give this modern day Indiana Republican any sense that that's a winning strategy, get ready, Bal, because there's a bunch more of them coming off the assembly line.
We'll never have a true conservative on any ballot in Marion County again. And that's why, I mean, you guys took a lot of heat. I took a lot of heat when we came out so hard against Jefferson Shreve. And we all said the same thing. You know, I was your biggest fan. To unseat Hogsett, wanted you to win, and then you stabbed us in the back on the Constitution, and now we need to send the message that that's not a winning strategy in Marion County or anywhere else for a Republican, and that's why I was so emphatic about it, and I've never hesitated for a moment, and I don't think you guys did either. But could he have made it close? I think so. Something else I would have liked to have seen, as opposed to what we actually saw in that election, I would have liked for Shreve to have had the honesty and the integrity to come out and announce that gun control plan before the primary election.
Yes.
Right.
Because I would like to see what Abdul Hakim Shabazz would have done in that primary if Shreve had been honest and unleashed this big fat, you know what, in the punch bowl.
Turd, I believe, is the word you're looking for, guy.
Yeah, thank you. I always looked at Carl, you know, our expert producer, going, can I put that one out there? Yeah, I think so.
Guy has came in here and swore before we had to dump him, but he wasn't sure if he could say turd here.
One time, and that's when I said, no, kidding. I won't. No,
You're right, because like I've talked with Abdul. Now, Abdul is an establishment guy, and I don't normally get with that, but his plan on public safety, which to me was the most paramount thing in this mayor's election, was pretty solid.
Well, exactly. And if Shreve came out and said to the Republican voters in Marion County, this is what I want to do to restrict law-abiding citizens' Second Amendment rights, what would that have done in the primary election? I don't know, because Shreve had a lot of money and a lot of momentum going into this, but it would have been dramatically different than what it was, I'll guarantee you. Again, would that have put Abdul over the top? I don't know. But you put all that together, and he botched that race. Shreve botched that race every way you possibly could. And when I go back and I look at those advisors he had, and I think,
money wasted.
What were you thinking? Millions of dollars wasted, and a real opportunity for Republicans in Marion County to win back the mayors, because the Republican Party, it seems to me, has given up to a large degree. I mean, Shreve came in with his own money for the most part, but Marion County, to a large degree, has given up on Marion County. It wasn't that long ago we had a Republican mayor, and Hogsett is so bad. He's so horrific on so many different levels. You know, and so easily confronted on issues like, why'd you disappear during the riots when we needed a mayor? We needed a strong person in charge, you know, and where'd you go? And why won't you tell anybody where you were? There were so many arguments. And here you got this guy coming in with all this money. And what did he do? He just farted and fumbled and fell down.
It's Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford here on the Hammer and Nigel
Not
show.
Not necessarily in that order.
Tell me about this gun safety bill that failed in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, well, there's some a bunch of different ramifications on this, but what this is where there was a proposal to, again, restrict law-abiding citizens on their rights, and again, it's a situation where everyone recognized that restricting law-abiding citizens is not the way to actually reduce crime.
Well, wait a minute. This says gun safety bill. Who would be against gun safety? I mean, you wrote the book on gun safety. Who's going to be against a bill that's called the gun safety bill, guy?
Well, I did write a book. I certainly, and I call the book on gun safety. But listen, it's another situation where people are trying to legislate responsibility and trying to limit the rights of law-abiding citizens as a way of actually keeping criminals under control, and that's never going to work. It's never has worked.
Now, wait a minute. I'm reading the article from the local, I believe it's the ABC affiliate in Columbus, Ohio, and the first line of it says that a bill that would have made things safer has failed, Guy. Now, the media wouldn't have any spin in regards to gun control, would they?
Well, no, and that's exactly how it works. And listen, I mean, this is not a surprise. When I go back to the committee hearing where I was there to testify against this proposed ordinance in Marion County, and we had all the Moms Demand people and all the other gun control people and all the other Hogsett sycophants there, and when Hogsett came in. He made this hero's entrance, right? He was kind of lurking outside the room, and all of a sudden he came storming down the aisle, and he gave his speech about how he was going to keep people safer by proposing this gun control. And then he said, and no one's going to make me back down. I'll never back down. And he's pointing his finger, and he turned around and he went storming back up the aisle to leave the room. And it was a standing ovation. And I'm looking around going, this is why they do it. And that's exactly what just happened in Columbus. That's the only reason they do it, because there are so many people out there who just want to praise their liberal leaders to begin with, but secondly, don't have the ability to step back and go, wait a minute, this new law, are criminals going to follow that? Are
right.
Criminals, some guy who's not afraid of life in prison or the death penalty or dying in a shootout with police, is he going to stop carrying his firearm because Marion County or Columbus, Ohio, because they're going to fine him? And the answer to that, of course, is no. But you know what? But people go in and they vote based on party lines, and it pays off for people like Joe Hogsett.
Where can we get more information, or if somebody wants to continue this conversation with you, how do they find you?
Yeah, find me on Twitter, man. Give me a follow. It's just at Guy Relford on Twitter.
Guy, you're the best. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Love my Galaxy concrete garage floor. It is out of this world. It was old and dirty and cracked, wasn't well maintained. And then within a day, Galaxy came in and made it 4 times as strong as it previously was. They didn't use epoxy. They used something much better. It's called polyurea. It's the new premium standard for coatings. And don't forget about the lifetime warranty. Not that you'll need it. My Galaxy Concrete garage floor is going to be so easy to clean this winter as well, with all the dirt and snow coming in. Just a simple squeegee along with a little bit of dish soap and some water. It'll look fantastic. The website, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
When it comes to illegal immigration, there's only one true conservative running for U.S. Senate this year. That's Trump-endorsed Jim Banks. Jim Banks has a plan, and it's simple. If you're caught in this country illegally, you're sent back to where you came from. Got that? No? Okay, well, let me repeat it. When Jim Banks is the senator, his policy on illegal immigration will be as follows. If you're in the country illegally, you're going back to where you came from. Mi casa is no longer tu casa, my friends. Jim Banks, Navy veteran, Trump endorsed. A simple plan for dealing with illegal immigration. Jim Banks for U.S. Senate. American Leadership PAC is responsible for the content of this message. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americanleadershippac.org.
Basements get a bad rap. Probably because so many of them are wet, leaky, and musty. Michaelis is putting an end to the horror show. Their time-tested waterproofing systems eliminate and prevent water issues. Damp and moldy becomes clean and healthy. They have a lot of homeowners enjoying their basements again. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Hey there, it's Hammer and Nigel with some fantastic news from AAA Hoosier Motor Club. For a limited time, our listeners can grab a 1-year AAA Classic membership and enjoy a whopping 50% off. I can vouch for the savings. My AAA membership practically pays for itself.
And let's talk about their legendary roadside service. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas, lock your keys in the car. AAA's got your back 24/7, 365. Visit AAA.com/gift. 844-GO-AAA-GO, or swing by your local AAA office today.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
I'd rather be folding laundry.
This is gonna be fun.
Said no one ever. Also, no one enjoys wasting time in traffic. That's why we love saving you time. Matt Baird Traffic.
Backups are already starting.
On 93 WIBC.
Matt Baer, what's going on?
Reported somebody getting hit by a car on the west side, Rockville Road to the east of 465. Watch out in that area, please. An inbound 65 stop and go 21st to Meridian bound. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that simple that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
45 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Happy National Cookie Day.
Oh,
National
love a good cookie.
Day.
Love a cookie.
A bunch of places have deals. One of my favorite Seinfeld bits is where he's like, I like being an adult because I can have cookies whenever I damn well please.
True. Very true.
When I was a kid, I was severely restricted on when and where and how many cookies I could have. But now that I'm adult, I'll be damned if it's noon and I want to crack open a case of Oreo cookies.
And there's so many different types of cookies, right? From the chocolate chip to the Oreo type. Listen, not everybody can get with this. I enjoy an oatmeal raisin cookie. Some people don't. I'm on board with that. Man, cookies, you can't go wrong with a big stack of cookies. And today is what, National Cookie Day?
Yes, and actually what we did was we brought in Cookie Monster.
Oh.
Cookie Monster came into the studio for us to sing a quick tribute. Cookie was in sort of a Limp Bizkit kind of mood.
I did it all for the cookie, the cookie, the cookie, and me can take a cookie and stick it in my yum, stick it in my yum, stick it in my yum.
It's National Cookie Day
yeah.
Today, and that's the Cookie Monster. Did you hear this yesterday? So there was a replay in the Browns and Rams game, and they're trying to figure out if the player was inbounds or not. And the way that the referee made the announcement and the way that he broke it down was fantastic.
Prior to the receiver's leg hitting out of bounds, his butt cheek hit inbound. As a result, it's a catch.
Let him know, Hussey.
And a first down.
Let's go. If you had butt cheek on your bingo card for the NFL on Fox today, congratulations.
Here, I want to play that one more time here, Carl. Listen to the official. He's talking about why he was ruled in bounds. He said his butt cheek landed in bounds.
Prior to the receiver's leg hitting out of bounds, his butt cheek hit inbound. As a result, it's a catch.
Let him know, Hussey.
And a first down.
Let's.
Oh, no, that's funny.
And one butt cheek equals 2 feet. So the receiver was ruled in bounds, and the referee on the mic talked about butt cheeks.
That Colts game was so crazy yesterday, wasn't it? Started out bad. There was a couple of great, passes in the first half, but I was flipping out towards the end. That's the best game I've watched in a long time.
Kevin Bowen from 107.5 The Fan will join us coming up here in just about 40 minutes. We're going to get his perspective on it and whether or not the Colts can make the playoffs.
Wow.
Talking to KB coming up and top stories coming up next. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-593-4411. 800-593-4411. 800-593-4411.
Hey, this is Pastor Micah Beckwith from Life Church. The greatest season of the year is upon us. Christmas is here. We're decorating the trees. We are stuffing the stockings. Hey, if you aren't planning a worship experience this Christmas season, I would really encourage you to make that part of your tradition. If you need a place to worship and celebrate the birth of our Savior, come to Life Church. We'd love to celebrate with you. Check out our service times and locations at lifechurchin.com.
Hammer and Nigel here. When it comes to health, there are numbers every man needs to know, including your testosterone number. We recommend Low T Center. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. Walk in, take a simple blood test, and you'll know results in about 25 minutes.
Low T can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can cause lack of motivation and drive. It can raise cholesterol, cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass. LowTCenter.com. Book online right now. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your independent, locally owned American Standard hometown dealer in Johnson County, Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling. Are you tired of the free air conditioner or furnace sketchy claims and want an honest quote with honest pricing from people who live and work in your community? Call Marshall Mechanical. Just go to callthemarshallnow.com to schedule an appointment. Financing options are available. Subject to credit approval, call for details. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County.
There are many ways to eat McDonald's world-famous fries. Some eat both ends of the fry first, others two at a time. And some eat them so fast, they forget how they ate them.
Download the app for offers like 20% off any order of $5 or more. Because when you tap into favorites like a Big Mac, McCrispy, or fries, you tap into delicious. Valid through 12/31/23 at participating McDonald's. Valid one time per day, excludes tax. Must opt into rewards. Visit McD app for details.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Indiana State Police are investigating a shooting in the interstate from Sunday. IMPD arrested a man accused of robbing a grocery store, and a former Colts linebacker is headed to Philadelphia. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
The White House calls out Hamas. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Right now, Hamas is refusing to release civilian women who should have been part of the agreement.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan after Friday's end of a temporary truce in Gaza, leading to renewed fighting and evacuations in southern Gaza as Israel's ground operation expands. Sullivan says the Israeli military gave more targeted evacuation warnings, but he stops short of a full assessment on the Israelis answering an appeal to protect civilians. One U.S. senator wants answers about a reporter's claim about hostages.
An Israeli journalist claims he interviewed a hostage released by Hamas who alleges a United Nations Relief and Works Agency teacher was the one holding them hostage. Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee is now demanding an investigation. Blackburn saying in a statement, quote, "The United States will not be complicit in propping up Hamas's terrorism." The GOP senator recently led a letter demanding the Senate not approve any new spending for aid to Gaza over concerns it could end up in Hamas's hands.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. The UN agency calls the report unsubstantiated and says the journalist has not responded to demands for more information. A former longtime U.S. diplomat is accused of spying for Cuba.
The complaint alleges that Rocha sought out and used his positions within the United States government to support Cuba's clandestine intelligence gathering mission against the United States.
Attorney General Merrick Garland announcing the arrest of former ambassador to Bolivia, Manuel Rocha, charged with illegally acting as an agent of a foreign government for more than 40 years. The now 73-year-old accused of bragging to an undercover FBI agent about strengthening the revolution. Wall Street snaps a winning streak. The Dow down 41 points at the bell. That's off session lows. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A van that's part of a crime scene. Partly cloudy, 45 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. You've got a clear radar. Rain is possible tonight with low temps dropping into the 30s. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A man who was shot and killed was found in his Nissan van on I-65.
But police don't have much more than that. I'm Ryan Hedrick. It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when police made the discovery, says State Police Sergeant John Perrine.
Yeah, our investigators are going to look into any optional technology that could help assist in this case, but right now I don't have any information on specifics.
Perrine says the victim is identified as Luis Martinez of Noblesville. Police aren't ruling out the possibility that Martinez was moved to that location after being shot somewhere else. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
IMPD says a fatal police shooting inside a semi-trailer last Thursday at a McDonald's on the south side was a hostage situation. Officers responded to a call for help and showed up to Lamont Bland's truck to ask a few questions. Bland ignored them, but police broke out the driver's side window after they say they heard a woman inside shout for help. Police tried to talk with Bland while he threatened to kill the woman with a knife. Once inside the truck, an officer shot Bland when they saw him standing over the woman, and the hostage wound up being okay. A suspect in 9 different robberies going back to November 21st was arrested Friday, says IMPD. Javante Smith was arrested after police responded to an armed robbery at a Kroger off 16th Street. Investigators put together info on a suspect's car, which did lead to the arrest of Smith. Stolen items from the Kroger were found at the vehicle. He faces a charge of armed robbery. Your senator wants to make sure everyone has a fair shake at going to college, if that's what they choose to do. Kurt Darling reports.
Senator Todd Young says there are still colleges that practice legacy admissions, prioritizing prospective students who come from parents who attended the school or who have donated a lot of money. Young says those kind of admission practices need to end under a bill he's crafted.
The college would not receive accreditation if they were determined to give that sort of preferential treatment.
Young says this would allow more people from low-income families to have a better chance of college admission. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Philadelphia Eagles are signing former Colts linebacker Shaq Leonard. Philly made the announcement this afternoon that they're bringing in the former All-Pro who was released by Indianapolis last month. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Winter may seem like a strange time to replace the windows in your house, but with Window Nation, today is the perfect time. And right now, Window Nation is offering you 50% off all window styles. Plus, you could even get 0% interest for 5 years. With new energy-efficient windows from Window Nation, you'll start saving money instantly on your heating bills and get rid of those annoying cold drafts that are letting your heat out. And in the summer, they'll keep that cool AC in, so you'll save money all year long.
Plus, Window Nation's professional installation means your windows will fit right in your home, treated with care. And with 50% off all style of windows and 0 interest for 5 years, it's time to give Window Nation a look today. Let Window Nation show you all the options to fit your needs and your budget. All you got to do is call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to get started. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison, they aren't horrible. We're looking at the south side. Eastbound 465 is stop and go before Man Road to the White River. And traffic coming into downtown right now with inbound 65 stop and go MLK to Meridian Penn. Slow on eastbound 70 west to Meridian, Illinois. And on the northeast side, eastbound 465 slows from Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. That's a crashed west lane east of Michigan Road. Another one on the west side, Rockville Road east of 465. Report of somebody getting hit by a car. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. Dogfight injury? Call Isaacs and Isaacs, the law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy today with some sunshine peeking out later this afternoon. Highs near 44. Clouds return overnight tonight with lows near 32. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Hammer, got a quick update about a story we were talking about last hour. You had mentioned that there was a carjacking, I believe it started in Lawrence, wound up in Beech Groves. One person apprehended, another person got away. And we were just kind of talking like, man, there's been a lot of shootings and carjackings, especially on the interstate when it comes to road rage and things like that. So I just got this text from Sergeant John Perrine, who is a friend of the show. He's the ISP, public information officer. Listen to this. We've had 54 shootings on Indianapolis area interstates this year. Additionally, 213 reports of someone pointing or displaying a firearm during a road rage incident on the interstates in Indianapolis this year. For comparison, in 2018, we had 9 shootings on the interstate and 9 in 2019, 66 last year. That's, I mean, wow. Look how far from 2018 it went from 9 to 54, and there was 66 in 2019. So it's becoming more and more commonplace. And again, that's why I say, man, if somebody's acting like a jagaloon on the road, and I would stay off that horn unless you're trying to get somebody to notice you or something like that, or they looking like they're going to rear end you, or you're going to rear end at them because they're being an idiot. Right. That's about the only time I'm laying on the horn.
Because this carjacking started in Lawrence, and it was an armed carjacking.
Yes.
And that's what got us on the discussion. And, we were talking off the air. It feels like, the last couple of months, we've been talking more about carjackings, not only here in Indy, but nationwide. Like Washington, D.C., they've got it bad. Secret Service is getting carjacked out in Washington, D.C. And I don't think we've ever, since the time we took over doing the afternoon drive show, have talked carjacking this often. It's crazy. We have an update into the Biden crime family, speaking of Washington, D.C., according to the House Oversight Committee Chairman, James Comer, Hunter Biden's business entity, Owasco PC, made direct monthly payments to the big guy, to Joe Biden, which is the total opposite of what the Bidens have been saying for years.
What do you know?
Here's James Comer.
President Joe Biden claimed there was an absolute wall between his official government duties and his family's influence peddling schemes. This was a lie. President Joe Biden claimed his family didn't receive money from China. This was a lie. President Joe Biden claimed he never spoke to his son, Hunter Biden, about the Biden's family's shady business dealings. This was a lie. Now, Hunter Biden's legal team and the White House's media allies claim Hunter's corporate entities never made payments directly to Joe Biden. We can officially add this latest talking point to the list of lies. Today, the House Oversight Committee is releasing subpoenaed bank records that show Hunter Biden's business entity, Owasco PC, made direct monthly payments to Joe Biden. This wasn't a payment from Hunter Biden's personal account, but an account for his corporation that received payments from China and other shady corners of the world. At this moment, Hunter Biden is under an investigation by the Department of Justice for using Owasco PC for tax evasion and other serious crimes. The more we learn, it appears the Justice Department was trying to cover up for the Bidens.
So not only is Hunter Biden's company writing checks to his dad, but he's doing it with money that is, these corporations are flush with cash from China.
Right.
Whoa, you're right. The goalposts have moved quite a bit since the beginning of all this, right? It sort of went from, I never even talked to my son about his business, to now all of a sudden his business is writing monthly checks.
Direct
to
Joe Biden. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, well, that's James Comer. I don't like him. He's not my cup of tea. I think he's full of crap. Ladies and gentlemen, the big guy.
How many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period. And what I will do is the same thing we did in our administration. There will be an absolute wall between personal and private and the government.
Do you stand by your statement that you did not discuss any of your son's overseas business dealings?
Yes, I stand by that.
Now, to be fair, maybe Joe Biden didn't discuss anything. Maybe he just took the money and shut up.
Yeah.
Maybe there wasn't any talk about anything. We're playing semantics here. I didn't discuss anything. He got me my money on time, so I kept my mouth shut.
You know all that money China gave you? I'm not going to say anything, but 10% in my account every month.
This thing is going to be...
I don't care what you're doing. I don't care about your business. You're
wild.
Probably a moron. You have no business being on the board of Burisma Energy Company in Ukraine. I don't care what you're doing. I just expect that money in my account every month.
So the Biden administration losing a lot of support lately. Seems like they're taking one L after the other. Hell, the only person that's standing up to support him is Gavin Newsom. He's the biggest cheerleader for Joe Biden anybody's going to find. Even in Chicago, things are getting a little salty. What? In Chicago, a press conference was held with key members of the black community, and they had a message for Joe Biden and the DNC.
City of Chicago and any Republican candidate in the city of Chicago, now is your time, because we are done with the Democratic Party. Brandon Johnson, Governor Preston, and President Biden have shown us what they think about the black community all over this country. And so we're standing here today to say, okay, if that's what it is, we with it. We don't have to support the Democratic Party. We don't have to continue to support people who are not going to support us. And the Democratic Party here in this city, in this state, and in this country is not supporting us.
So anger at Democrats, does that translate into voting for Republicans in inner city communities where they've traditionally voted Democrats?
That's the thing, right? Because it's easy to stand up there and complain and moan and yell, but when the rubber meets the road and you walk in there and you're filling out your ballot, are you actually going to call for change and vote for somebody else?
And part of this is, sending busloads of illegal immigrants into heavily blue sanctuary cities like Chicago and New York City, and you're starting to see the people push back on that as well.
New York,
that's where this is
Chicago.
Coming from. That's exactly where this is coming from.
Here's a little bit more from that.
You got the Republicans on one side and the Democrats on the other side. Guess what? They're part of the same bird.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter anymore which party we go with. But I'll tell you this, I'd rather deal with the snake that's outfitting himself of the Republican Party than the snake that's covered up in the Democratic Party.
That's right.
We're not going to continue to stand for this. We're not going to continue to allow our state representatives, our congressmen, our aldermen, and our mayor to let us know that we don't matter. Just like you're going to show us that we're going to matter, we're going to show you. It's going to be a great day in the city of Chicago when the Democratic convention comes here, and then they found out in March that a lot of black voters took Republican ballots. Deal with that.
Preach.
She's spitting fire, man. She
is.
is. But you're right. How many of the folks that were at that press conference are really going to vote Republican? Because it feels like this happens on both sides. Republicans do the same thing, too. You bitch, you moan, you complain, you yell, and then you vote for the exact same thing over and over again. in happier news, we've got a Hammer's Hero. And now, it's time for
Hammer's Heroes!
This is pretty cool. Utah State quarterback Levi Williams. He is skipping his senior season of football at Utah State because he's going to apply for Navy SEALs training.
Oh, wow.
After their bowl game coming up. He's going to prepare for the upcoming bowl game that Utah State's involved in, but he's going to skip his final year of eligibility because he wants to become a Navy SEAL in 2025. Quote,
love it.
I just want to be in a spot where I can protect this great country where we get to play football with the freedom to do that. I love football and it's so great, but I knew that eventually it was going to come to an end. And I think this is the best country in the world, so I'd like to keep it that way and protect it as long as I can.
It gives you chills, right? I mean, that's Pat Tillman-esque.
And I'm reading here what he has to do now. So in order to get into the SEAL training program, he has to pass this fitness test, which features a 500-yard swim, maximum push-up and pull-ups and curl-ups done in separate 2-minute intervals, a 1.5-mile run, and the individual time for either the swim or the run cannot exceed 12 and a half minutes. So,
oh, man. Well, I mean, you got a guy who's obviously in the best shape of his life. He's young. He's a precision-tuned athlete that knows his body well. I couldn't swim 500. I couldn't swim 500 feet.
I don't think I could get into a boat and go that far in less than 12 and a half minutes. And my man's out there swimming it, kicking it right square in the backside. So I'm rooting for Levi Williams, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. Matt Bear, what's going on?
All right, Hammer, looking at southbound 65 Stop and Go traffic from 21st Street to Meridian Penn. Also eastbound as 70 slow from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. South side delayed eastbound 465 from Kentucky Avenue to the White River. And reported somebody getting hit by a car west side Rockville Road east of 465. Crash north side west lane at Michigan Road. Traffic sponsored by Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. Home of the Money Today guarantee. Tax refund advanced loans at Jackson Hewitt starting December 11th. Early refund advanced offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charges applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
45 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Coming up, we've got the Final Four of Biden Madness. We have got Kevin Bowen talking about that crazy Colts game. But coming up next, a spirited round of Is This Anything? Don't go anywhere. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So what's a good rate on a CD today? Something like 5%? Yeah, and that's the highest it's been in a long time. Well, you know your retirement guy, Bill Demery, could help you do way better, right? Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel. Instead of getting 5%, what if you could get a much better return? Like a return that's averaged 7% per year for the past 10 years. That's 40% better. Let me say that again, 40% better.
Plus, now check this out. You also get an immediate 13% bonus on your investment. And it's all backed by one of the largest insurers in the world. A 13% bonus and a 7% average return. You should call Bill Demery right now. 317-648-5120. 13% bonus. This won't last long. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 648-5120. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
No more joint pain. It's not necessary to live another year in pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year you are back to living a normal life again. Tony Katz here, and QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. All natural treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country. People who had knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, who were able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Make the call right now so you can get the most out of 2024. Got pain from that old injury? Pain from arthritis? Get back to doing what you love. Make that pain go away. And don't forget, you can use your HSA and FSA funds. Get your free consultation with QC Kinetics. 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. QC Kinetics in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel, all with Saturday appointments available. QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-593-4411. 800-593-4411. 800-593-4411.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
The program begins in summer of 2024. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Turn to the experts at Howald Heating and Carrier for all your heating needs. Howald Heating, Air, and Plumbing, where coming home never felt so good. Online at HowaldHeatingandAir.com.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll. Hammer, how do we play Is This Anything?
I will run some stories by you. You break down all the information, and you give us a verdict. Is the story in question anything or not? Is this anything? A Canadian news anchor receiving praise after shutting down a viewer's rude email saying that she's pregnant, even though she's not pregnant.
Ooh.
Here is Global News Calgary anchor Leslie Horton responding to the email.
It's going to respond to an email that I just got saying, congratulations on your pregnancy. If you're going to wear old bus driver pants, you have to expect emails like this. So thanks for that. No, I'm not pregnant. I actually lost my uterus to cancer last year. And this is what women of my age look like. So if it is offensive to you, that is unfortunate.
What did she say? She lost her uterus
Yes.
to cancer last year? Was the bus... can you play it again, Carl? Because... was she saying, was the bus driver pant comment in the email?
It's going to respond to an email that I just got saying, congratulations on your pregnancy. If you're going to wear old bus driver pants, you have to expect emails like this. So thanks for that.
Okay.
No, I'm not pregnant. I actually lost my uterus.
So was this this email being a troll, or was she being genuine? Did she think that the anchor woman was pregnant?
You've worked in media long enough to know it's a troll.
I mean,
99.999% of the time, it's a troll. Because people feel like they have to get their jollies off making fun of the TV or radio person because either their lives are miserable or if it's a dude, they have small genitals.
I mean, we have plenty of friends that are females that are on TV that unfortunately get messages like this all the time, commenting about the looks, commenting about the clothes, how unflattering they are. And have you ever, I could think this one time, where a long time ago, it wasn't me, it was a friend of mine. She went up to sort of an acquaintance of ours that we hadn't seen in a while. We were at a party. She'd had a few drinks. She was not meaning any harm whatsoever, but we hadn't seen this other person in a while. And my friend puts her, and it was female, right? So she female on female action here. So my friend puts her hand on the other lady's stomach and says, "Oh, how far are you along?" The lady goes, "I'm not pregnant." She jerked her hand away. I'll never forget it as long as I live. Totally no malice or ill intent at all on the part of my female friend, but she actually physically touched this woman's stomach and said, "How far along are you?"
That's brutal.
Oh, man.
So what happened afterwards? What happened next?
She just said, "Oh, I'm not pregnant." She was very cool about it. "Oh, I'm not pregnant." And she goes, "Oh, my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
Wow.
Make actual physical contact.
That's tough.
That was a rough one, man.
If you don't know, don't go in.
Yes, that's good advice.
If you don't know, don't go. That's the way it should be.
Are you pregnant? No.
I'm just fat. Thanks.
I'm wearing bus driver pants.
Women my age do that. Is this anything? A Florida man is on a journey to collect 1 million copies of the movie Titanic on VHS. So far, he's got 2,000. Here he is.
Well, you know, Titanic is best on VHS. September 1st, 1998, take the voyage home. That's what they were saying. That's what I was playing on the VCR. I was watching this thing over and over and over again. I checked that P.O. box. I mean, I got to fill the car up because there's so much Titanic, baby. I'm trying to get to 1 million. We have 2,467 right now, so we are so close to that 1 million.
Boy, save a little poon for the rest of us, sir. Oh, my goodness. This guy must be a hell of a, with the ladies. Boy, he is, I mean, man, trying to get 1 million copies of Titanic on VHS. Something tells me you don't have a lot going on in your life. You're a very, very lonely person.
You laugh, but there's some chick that would hook up with him for the mere fact that he's trying to do that. Well, he's motivated. It's horrible.
Oh, that is nothing. No, that is awful. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. What a waste of time.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
Over the years, I've had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
And Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
I've had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December. Plus, receive a free game console just by having Rhino Shield applied by spring of 2024.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Remember, you have until the end of December to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free game console. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Be sure to schedule your health assessment at Low T Center. They offer the convenience of physician-monitored, self-inject, at-home testosterone treatments with an average payment of just $150 a month cash pay, including labs and medication.
If you don't live near a Low T Center or you just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy, shipping treatments directly to you. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Mow, dig, haul, lift. The versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota, or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
The next generation of streaming is here.
Introducing Spectrum One Stream. Get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, including advanced Wi-Fi, and one unlimited mobile line free for 12 months. And when you add Spectrum TV, get a Zumo Stream Box free for 12 months. Spectrum One Stream. It's streaming simplified. Visit Spectrum.com for details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A fatal shooting on the interstate. 44 degrees and cloudy on the circle. Your radar's clear. Low of 32 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. State police said the investigation into a man found shot to death in his car is a difficult one.
So we're not exactly sure if where we found the deceased man is exactly where the crime happened. So we have to expand our search a little bit beyond typical crime scene investigation.
Sergeant John Perrine says Luis Martinez of Noblesville was found dead in a van on I-65 Sunday. A federal appeals court has ruled against former President Trump's presidential immunity claims ahead of his January 6th trial.
All things are full steam ahead for March 4th of 2024 here in Washington, D.C. But this appeals court ruling, think police officers, others who were there that day that want to sue the former president in a civil manner. Now, this was just one of the setbacks the former president received on Friday. Judge Tanya Chutkin, who is the district court judge who's overseeing the case for attempts to try to overturn the 2020 election that's going to trial, she ruled against him. She says that he is not immune and does not have any type of presidential or absolute immunity from being prosecuted. He wanted to dismiss the case on those charges. She said, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen.
Fox's David Spunts. Congress must soon decide whether to approve more funding for Ukraine in its war with Russia.
Without congressional action, the administration will run out of resources by the end of the year to procure more weapons and equipment for Ukraine.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said lawmakers must decide whether to support the fight for freedom or let Russian President Vladimir Putin prevail. And Shaq Leonard is headed to Philly. The former Colts linebacker was released by the team in November, and he signed with the Eagles today. The closing bell report brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow dropped by 41 points to 36,204. The NASDAQ fell by 119 to 14,185. The S&P 500 dropping by 24 to 4,569. Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. Your time is 4:32.
At Absolute Wealth Management, LLC, we understand that your retirement and taxes are inseparable. And if you're over 50, we're offering a special deal to kickstart your financial journey in 2024. You can have your 2023 tax return prepared and filed, including Schedules A, B, and D, for just $79.95. This can be the start of a lifelong, profitable partnership with Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. All our retirement planning clients will continue to receive the substantial discount for tax filing and preparation as part of our ongoing retirement marathon that focuses on protecting everything you've worked so hard to build while still providing growth to help elevate your lifestyle and retirement. Take absolute control of your retirement. Call us now at 317-288-0634, 317-288-0634, or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. Investment advisory service is offered through Gradient Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Gradient Advisors, LLC, and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice.
The traffic at 4:33. How are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison, we are stop and go right now on the northwest side. Northbound 465 from 86th Street up to 865. Southbound 69 slows, 96 to 82nd. Coming into downtown, it is southbound 65 stop and go traffic 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slows from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. And on the south side, eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from 70 to the White River. Crash west side, Rockville Road east of 465. Report of somebody getting hit by a car, and a crash on the north side, West Lane Road, east of Michigan Road. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that simple that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And a forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A mostly cloudy night is ahead with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll start our Tuesday with a wintry mix before we change over to all rain by the afternoon hours. Highs in the low to mid-40s. If any snow accumulation occurs, it will be very little. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Shotgun snap. Looks to his right. In the end zone. Throws Michael Pittman. Touchdown! Touchdown, Michael Pittman. Ball game. I-N-D-Y. Michael Pittman into the end zone from Gardner Minshew. And the Colts win 31-28 in Nashville. Yes, sir.
All right, Colts win in Nashville yesterday. I had about 5 heart attacks watching that game. My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer over there, the special guest on the WIBC hotline.
Kevin Bowen is part of the morning show over at 107.5 The Fan. The wake-up call with KB and Andy. KB, let's get into it. It wasn't pretty. It was chaotic. There was a lot of things happening in that game, but at the end of the day, that's a hell of a win.
It is, and yeah, to kind of echo what Nige says, as I tweeted out yesterday, that game was drunker than a bachelorette party on Broadway Street in Nashville. And I think the Colts are hungover. The Titans are just a little bit more hungover, I would say, is how I would describe that one. 7-5, still in that 7th playoff spot. It's just pretty crazy to say right now. They've already hit their over on the win total here. At the start of the season with 5 weeks to go.
You know, it's funny. Nigel sent me a text in the first half of yesterday's game, and cleaning it up for radio was saying this game lacks excitement. And then...
That was a bad first half. Yeah.
Then in the second half, we've got blocked punts, missed kicks, returns for safeties. It was wild. I don't think I've ever seen a second half like that.
Yeah, I've never seen a game with two block punts, let alone back-to-back, let alone how easy both of them looked. Like, you know, both the Colts blockers, if you will, Nick Cross and Tony Brown, they literally just kind of picked the ball right off the punter's leg. It got so bad, or I guess it was viewed so badly in Mike Vrabel's eyes, he actually fired his special teams coordinator earlier today.
Oh, man.
I tend to think when you're able to get an opposing coach fired, you've either done something really good or they've done something really bad or some combination of both. And there are a lot of little, branches out from the game that you could go, onto. But I thought those 2 block punts really was exactly the jolt the Colts needed.
I loved the trick play. I loved Alec Pierce finally earning his money, so to speak. There were some flashes, even in the first half of that game, of brilliance by the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, and I guess let's focus on Pierce. I think he is stunted a bit by having Gardner Minshew at quarterback because, Anthony Richardson's strength as a passer is the ability to throw the ball down the field. And so when that draft selection was made with Richardson, even at Florida, as inconsistent of a passer that he was, that was a strength of his. So I thought, okay, this makes sense. Even in Pierce's rookie season with Matt Ryan, Nick Foles, and Sam Ehlinger, we saw flashes of his ability to make plays. Hell, if you're an Indiana or Notre Dame football fan, you watched Alec Pierce do that to your school back at Cincinnati a couple years ago. So I don't think has been able to showcase that. And, on a day when the Colts struggled to kind of finish off drives in the red zone, Pierce was absolutely vital to them, and I did think Minshew made a couple of big-time throws on what was overall a pretty inconsistent day for Minshew.
And I can't believe I'm about to channel my inner Jim Mora here and bring up playoffs with this team, but the math, like all these analytical things online, have said there's a 67% chance right now that the Indianapolis Colts end up in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's wild to say. I mean, honestly, when you look at the quarterbacks that are about to play, take, for example, Pittsburgh. They're supposed to play Pittsburgh a week from Saturday. Pittsburgh just lost their starting quarterback seemingly for that game. Kenny Pickett suffered an ankle injury yesterday.
And he wasn't even that good to begin with.
Right. So they will play backup quarterbacks in all likelihood 3 of the next 4 weeks. And if you look at the schedule the rest of the way and compare them to the schedules of the other teams around them, I mean, I'm shocked that I'm saying this on December 4th. It's kind of sitting on a platter for you. Now, granted, I mean, the Colts are a missed extra point away from, the tone of this conversation being a whole lot different. So certainly you are playing with fire. If you want to look at a glass half full, you could play better than you have been. If you want to look at a glass half empty, as the competition starts to rise a little bit, are you able to get away with that here moving forward? But they are in a great position at 7-5, given the schedule upcoming here, and I obviously would not have said that at the start of the year.
You're right. I'm looking at the schedule right now, and next Sunday, you're at Cincinnati without Joe Burrow, and then you host the Steelers, who just lost Kenny Pickett, and he wasn't that good to begin with. You're at Atlanta. Their quarterback stinks. And then the Raiders come in with a backup quarterback in Aiden O'Connell. And then the final game of the year could be really important. That's C.J. Stroud and the Texans.
Yeah, and obviously Stroud's had a great season. Even he got a little banged up yesterday. But basically, if you want to circle 2 games on the schedule, I would look at Pittsburgh and Houston. Those are the 2 real big ones in terms of playoff implications. Obviously, they're all important to a level at this point of the season. But if you want to just kind of pinpoint 2 of them, those 2 are the ones that really stand out to me.
Kevin Bowen, 107.5, the Fan here on the Hammer and Nigel show. And back to the Colts quarterback, the backup quarterback, Gardner Minshew. Is the read on him really just inconsistency at this point? I mean, he made some incredible plays, some great throws, but it can be very frustrating watching him at the same time as well.
Yeah, Nigel, and honestly, to kind of take it a little bit further with Minshew, he's not living up to even the standard he has created for himself. Because I think a lot of people you can get a little lazy with him and be like, typical backup quarterback, after you start, 6-7 games, you finally show your true colors. But even this level of Minshew is not, what he had kind of created for himself in prior stops, whether that be Jacksonville, whether that be even Philadelphia. So that's where I kind of get back to that glass half full or glass half empty point of view. There is a better standard Minshew has played to in this career and has honestly played several games at that level. But again, he's not been that here as of late. Part of me is will it get any better? Can it get any better? Again, the schedule seemingly gets a little bit tougher, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. So I think it's fair to say, albeit it was some impressive moxie by him in overtime, there's no debating that, you're overcoming lackluster quarterback play, even for Minshew. How do you handle that moving forward with Jonathan Taylor going to be out? Looks like another couple weeks. I think that's a big question as you project deeper into December.
Couple minutes left here with Kevin Bowen. Pacers have this in-season tournament knockout round game tonight. Now, I know a lot of people haven't really been into it. I'm the minority, man. I think it's been kind of fun. I don't mind the wacky court design. And honestly, talking about NBA late November, early December, it's kind of rare. I'm on board with it. What do you think?
I'm all in. I think you kind of echoed everything that I would also say, Hammer. I saw a picture earlier today of inside of Gainbridge Fieldhouse for the game tonight. Got the gold towels on all those seats. I'm like, yeah, that kind of looks like April or May.
Right.
And you know what? It's been nearly 5 years since we have experienced a home playoff game in this city. You got to go back to April 2019 for the last time the Pacers have had a home playoff game. So this is the closest you're going to get to that. It doesn't guarantee anything for the course of the season, but you're playing the best team in the East, and the Pacers have earned it. Yes, the NBA came up with this, 4-game group stage in-season tournament. The Pacers won all 4 of those games. They beat some very good teams within their group as well. And with that, they'll get the opportunity to be on national television tonight and all of that. And for those guys in the locker room, that matters. I think we kind of live in our own little bubble. Who cares where you're on TV and things like that? I mean, if you're these guys, you play from all over the United States, you come from all over the U.S., hell, even, Canada, you want eyes on you. You want family members and friends across the U.S. to see you. And this team hasn't been afforded those opportunities, understandably, but now they've earned the right. And if they win tonight, they will continue to do that later this week in Las Vegas.
Hey, KB, one more thing here. What was your audience saying? What was your take about Florida State being excluded from the college football playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's an absolute joke, and it's coming from a Notre Dame fan, so I should theoretically hate Florida State. But, look at what Florida State did just even Saturday night. They beat the number 15th ranked team in the nation with a third-string quarterback by 2 scores on a neutral field. If that was an SEC team doing that, we'd have a parade for the SEC team. But because it's an ACC team, that can't be celebrated or has to be downgraded. Alabama, just 1 week ago, against Auburn, who, let's remind people what Auburn had did the week prior. Auburn was a 21-point favorite against New Mexico State and lost 31-10 in that game. And Alabama needed a 4th and 31 to beat Auburn in that game. To me, it's strictly brand biased. It's strictly SEC biased. I guess more brand biased than anything. I think if that was Mississippi State or even Auburn, for example, and not Alabama, you would not have jumped them. Florida State did everything. They went undefeated. They scheduled 2 SEC teams. They beat LSU by 21 points on a neutral field earlier this year. And just because their quarterback gets hurt, they can't be in the dance. So I feel awful for Florida State fans. And again, every ounce of me as a Notre Dame fan doesn't want to say that, but got to give my honest thoughts.
You're totally wrong. You're completely wrong, KB.
Boy.
The best 4 teams are in there, but we're out of time. And we appreciate you joining us here on the Hammer and Nigel show.
Shocking, the SEC fan. Go with that thought there.
Check out Kevin Bowen's work, The Wake Up Call with KB and Andy, every Monday through Friday, 107.5 The Fan. KB, thank you.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Biden Madness. The Final Four. We kick it off next.
When it comes to illegal immigration, there's only one true conservative running for U.S. Senate this year. That's Trump-endorsed Jim Banks. Jim Banks has a plan, and it's simple. If you're caught in this country illegally, you're sent back to where you came from. Got that? No? Okay, well, let me repeat it. When Jim Banks is the senator, his policy on illegal immigration will be as follows. If you're in the country illegally, you're going back to where you came from. Mi casa is no longer tu casa, my friends. Jim Banks, Navy veteran, Trump endorsed. A simple plan for dealing with illegal immigration. Jim Banks for U.S. Senate. American Leadership PAC is responsible for the content of this message. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americanleadershippac.org.
I'm attorney Darrell Isaacs. Since my dad, Sheldon Isaacs, started Isaacs & Isaacs in 1993, we've been proud to be the law firm thousands of Hoosiers have trusted to take on their personal injury cases. Winning for my clients is so important to me because I know what they're going through. I was in a wreck myself back in 2015. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients. Now we're ready to win for you. Just click to get help quick at WeWin.com.
You only have one heart, so let's keep it near everyone it beats for. Franciscan Health is leading the way as the only hospital in Indiana to be recognized as one of HealthGrade's 100 best hospitals for cardiac care and coronary intervention in 2024. We're delivering award-winning heart care in your neighborhood, near everyone you love, because our greatest reward is caring for you. Learn more about our compassionate, patient-focused approach to heart care. Visit us at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Basements get a bad rap, probably because so many of them are wet, leaky, and musty. Michaelis is putting an end to the horror show. Their time-tested waterproofing systems eliminate and prevent water issues. Damp and moldy becomes clean and healthy. They have a lot of homeowners enjoying their basements again. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Pierce Jewelers is Carmel's full-service jewelry store where all watch repair, jewelry repair, appraisals, or custom design is done in-house. See them at piercejewelers.com.
The latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, podcasts. Listen to the station live whenever, wherever, online at WIBC.com.
Matt, if anybody's heading downtown for dinner or the Pacers game tonight, what do the roads look like?
You know, Hammer, it is slow downtown right now as we go southbound 65 from 21st to Meridian, Penn. Same with eastbound 70 from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Right on the south side, eastbound 465 stop-and-go traffic from Kentucky Avenue past Man Road. Inbound 69 slows from 96 to 82nd. Watch out, north side crash, West Lane, east of Michigan Road. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
43 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and it's the Final Four of Biden Madness.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So, this in-season tournament that we're doing, similar to the NBA, but the Pacers are playing tonight, it was Joe Biden against Kamala Harris. And Joe Biden won every matchup in the previous round.
Been playing these ridiculous clips and sound bites of Biden and Harris, and they've been going head-to-head. And Biden's been the winner for most of the rounds, right?
Right. Biden had a sweep in the first round. And this is the Final Four. The winner of this matchup moves on to the in-season championship.
Okay.
So the number 5 seed in our tournament was when Joe Biden was in Vietnam making a speech. And he just had a case of the blankets and told everybody what we already know. He was tired. He wanted to go to bed and then gave a really weird stare into the camera.
He may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
He just stands there with his mouth agape.
Just like looking at the camera, frozen in time. I'm going to go to bed. Like such low energy, just looked frail and weak.
Well, I don't know how in the world an 80-year-old guy can handle the time change. Do you? I mean, it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning in Vietnam right now. They're 12 hours ahead of us, Hammer.
So that is the number 5 seed. The number 1 seed in this tournament, the winner of the first ever Biden Madness, the long tournament that we do in March, when Joe Biden was trying to recite the Declaration of Independence.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
So you can vote right now on the Hammer and Nigel Show Twitter at Hammer and Nigel. Which one do you want to move on to the final? I'm going to go to bed, blank stare, or you know the thing. Vote now.
I think I'm going to bed is so underrated.
It is.
I mean, you're the most powerful man in the world. Coming from the most powerful country in the world. I'm going to go to bed.
On a world stage.
Yes.
With other leaders there in Vietnam against arguably the most important document our country has. You know the thing. So vote now on Twitter. You've got 23 hours at Hammer and Nigel. Nigel, are you familiar with country singer Warren Zeters?
No, but I saw that he sang the national anthem at the Big 12 championship, right?
Yeah, so he sang the anthem before the Texas and Oklahoma State game, the Big 12 championship, and people are ripping him.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's that deserved.
Here, take a listen. Take a listen to this.
You tell me.
And tell me if this is one of the worst that you've heard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we...
Okay, you can stop it right there. I mean,
that's not the worst I've heard.
Right.
And the ending, I heard the ending too. The ending wasn't bad. No, somebody give me Carl Lewis on the phone because that one was not bad at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who did you want?
Carl Lewis? Is that? Now
this. He's an Olympic champion, Nige.
Oh, say, can you
Uh-oh. I'll make up for it now.
No, you're not.
For the land of the free.
So was that worse than, say, Steven Tyler's version at the Indy 500?
I mean, at least Steven Tyler held his tone and the pitch. They cut over to A.J. Foyt. Looked like he wanted to wrap his fat fingers around Steven Tyler's scrawny neck.
So rank these from the worst to the best, I guess. Warren Zeters, Carl Lewis, Steven Tyler, or Frank Drebin.
On our ramparts we watch.
Bunch of bombs. Frank Drebin, number one best all time.
Like
No
all
question.
of those, all of those are brutal. I didn't think Warren Zeters was all that bad. All right, coming up next, Nige, I have a Tucker Carlson update for you. I know you're a Tucker guy. I've got a Tucker update. That's coming up next. Vote now, Biden Madness, Twitter @Hammer and Nigel.
Living healthy is challenging, but it starts with one step. Whether you're ready to take that first step or ready to step up to a new level, the Personal Training Experience will help you do it on your schedule in your home. It's a complete fitness solution with a program customized just for you. They provide the equipment and come to you with 100% in-home training. Workouts will always be challenging, but making them work for you doesn't have to be. Start today by signing up for a free in-home workout at thepersonaltrainingexperience.com.
Hey, nothing to worry about with Mark Dietel, expert real estate agent. Maybe you're ready for that next phase in life. You want to downsize, but you need that equity in your home for retirement. Just like Jackie and Terry in Wanamaker. They were entering the next phase and wanted maintenance-free living. They built a new patio home, but they needed to sell their old house for a good price for retirement, and they wanted to sell quickly. Mark Dietel expertly marketed their home, sold it quick, the price they wanted, closed it under 30 days.
There's only one agent that we trust and recommend, and that's Mark Dietel. Because Mark Dietel, he has the guarantee in place. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. If you don't believe us, call him. Talk to Mark Dietel yourself, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Immerse yourself in premium nationwide coverage, contract-free plans, and always-free activation with Consumer Cellular, now at your local Target. While you're there, check out our newest phone, the Iris Flip. It's all the phone and camera you need, plus it features a user-friendly design, making it the perfect flip phone. From now to December 16th, you can score $10 off when you buy the Consumer Cellular Iris Flip at Target, making it only $39.99. Visit your nearest Target for the full scoop.
UC Bank is committed to the communities we call home. Since we first opened our doors, we have reinvested in neighborhoods, one project at a time. With financial guidance and energetic volunteers, UC continues to build on more than 150 years of community commitment. UC Bank, building strong financial futures, one family, one street, one city at a time. Since 1868, member FDIC.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Ryan Hedrick reports on a fatal shooting along Interstate 65. A suspect in 9 different robberies was arrested last Friday, and a former Colts punter is getting into politics. Wes Woodward has that story. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio. From the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios, you're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, it's 5 o'clock.
Two debates collide on Capitol Hill. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. As Congress considers President Biden's request for more than $100 billion in aid to Israel, Ukraine, and the Indo-Pacific, some Republicans continue to press for immigration reform to be tied to that package.
Immigration should be debated and addressed. But if Republicans want to raise the issue of immigration right now, the onus is on them to present us with bipartisan ideas.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says defending democracy is at stake in aid for Ukraine and Israel. Immigration policies, including asylum and detention, are under consideration as part of a possible deal. The White House declining to answer questions about Florida Democrats only allowing President Biden on their March primary ballot and not his 2 Democratic challengers, Marianne Williamson and Congressman Dean Phillips. Spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre referring questions to the Biden campaign. Republican Party Chair Ronna McDaniel telling Fox News.
They're saying that the Republicans are a threat to democracy. Well, we're having our process play out. We're not putting our thumb on the scale. They're making sure that Biden is bubble wrapped. They're guaranteeing it.
Meantime, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum suspends his Republican campaign for president while criticizing the RNC's debate qualifications. At the height of the holiday shopping season, a Macy's store is closed in Philadelphia after a deadly stabbing earlier today when a suspect accused of stealing hats returned a short time later and attacked 2 security guards, killing 1.
As far as this establishment here, Macy's, unfortunately, is one of the locations in Center City that has experienced one of the highest levels of retail theft.
Philadelphians interim police commissioner John Stanford says the suspect fled into the subway and was arrested with the help of transit police. Macy's says it's heartbroken and the store will remain temporarily closed for the investigation. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It happened on I-65. 43 degrees, cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. You've got a clear radar, low of 32 expected tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Police say a man was shot and killed. They found him in his car. Ryan Hedrick reports.
That man is Luis Martinez from Noblesville, and police found him sitting in his Nissan van on Interstate 65 on Sunday afternoon. State Police Sergeant John Perrine says cops will need to decide if Martinez was shot on the highway or if he was moved there.
Right now we're looking for witnesses. Anybody who may have been in that area at the time that saw something unusual, we're asking them to give us a call. The little piece they have may be the piece we need.
Prine says if you have a useful tip, call Crime Stoppers. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC. Mobile News.
Someone was carjacked in Lawrence late Sunday night. The 2 suspects ended up in Beech Grove early Monday, where they were spotted by a license plate reader. They led police on a short chase that ended at a dead-end street.
One of the individuals from the carjacked vehicle was located and taken into custody. The other one remains at large.
Lawrence Police Deputy Chief Gary Woodruff says the victim did the right thing by handing over the car. They're alive. Police are still on the hunt for the final suspect. A suspect in 9 different robberies going back to November 21st was arrested last Friday, says IMPD. Javante Smith was put in handcuffs after police responded to an armed robbery at a Kroger off 16th Street. Investigators put together info on a suspect car, which led to the arrest of Smith. Stolen items from the Kroger were found in his vehicle, and Smith faces a charge of armed robbery. He used to kick footballs for a living. Now he's getting into politics. Wes Woodward reports.
Former Indianapolis Colts punter Hunter Smith is jumping into politics with a run for the Indiana House. It's a seat being given up by Republican Representative Donna Shibley. Smith played for the Colts for 10 seasons, including winning Super Bowl 41 in 2007. He finished up his NFL career with a 2-year stint in Washington. A Sherman, Texas native, Smith now resides in Boone County. Smith says he's motivated by issues such as adoption and low taxes, and because of his regenerative farm business, environmental issues are also an interest. Smith is a Notre Dame graduate and was drafted by the Colts in 1999. Wes Woodward, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Philadelphia Eagles are signing former Colts linebacker Shaq Leonard. Philly made the announcement this afternoon that they're bringing in the former All-Pro who was released by Indianapolis last month. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Don't you love fall in Indy, but hate to paint? Do what your neighbor Mark did. He called Rhino Shield.
It's a 2-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing to paint, I heard a radio ad, with Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
And Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December. Plus, receive a free game console just by having Rhino Shield applied by spring of 2024.
It was done in 2001. From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Remember, you have until the end of December to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free game console. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05. How are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison, on the north side, we are stopped eastbound 465 from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Northbound 465 stop and go on the east side from 70 up to Penn Pike. Right lane blocked as they haul off a portable toilet. That's not what it is, but it's what it looks like. Inbound 65 stop and go from MLK to 21st to downtown. Eastbound 70 from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. South side eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from 70 to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Indeed.com. Make the hiring process work for you. With Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution, you can attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A mostly cloudy night is ahead with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll start our Tuesday with a wintry mix before we change over to all rain by the afternoon hours. Highs in the low to mid-40s. If any snow accumulation occurs, it will be very little. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe it?
Characters are weirdos.
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. I miss the hell out of Tucker Carlson on Fox every night, man.
You sound like Champ and Anchorman. I'm Mr. Musk. I think you and I should get an apartment together.
I want to be around you. Yeah, I watch The Five. Sometimes I'll watch Gutfeld, but not really. The Five is it pretty much for me. But it's really, when they got rid of Tucker, that really just threw a wrench in my nightly routine.
Do you follow his Twitter show?
Yes. I don't. It's more of an interview show. I like it when he just does commentary.
I'm with you, 100%.
I think his latest thing, I haven't watched it yet, was on aliens. He's got an obsession with aliens for some reason. But he's also been doing, I've noticed, he's been doing the podcast circuit an awful lot. I just downloaded the one he did with Theo Vaughn, comedian Theo Vaughn, at the end of October. Another comedian, Dave Smith, just got released. And then he did one. I've been listening. I'm right in the middle of the one with Roseanne.
Okay.
Roseanne.
So in the podcast that he recorded with Roseanne, he talks about how Donald Trump has kind of floated his name out there as a vice presidential candidate.
Only Tucker Carlson.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Roseanne.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, man, I'm honored.
And this was like the opening of their podcast that Roseanne does.
I'm so excited to ask you all these crazy things that are in my head.
You can't get too crazy for me.
I know, that's what's so great.
That's true.
First of all, on the crazy train there, how do you feel about Trump saying he would consider you for vice president?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I put that in the category of asteroids striking the Earth. Good or bad, it's so far outside of my control that I'm flattered.
Yeah, it is flattering, isn't it?
For sure. But, it's hard to, I've never been in politics.
Would you ever do it?
Would I accept?
Yeah, if you really asked you.
Think about that. I mean, I spent my whole life looking at politicians and commenting on them and passing judgment on them. And I've never run for, room mother. And so the idea of that is so far from anything I've ever done, it's kind of hard even to imagine.
It's not a denial.
It's not a no. Right. That's what I took from it. It wasn't a, no, I'm not interested in that. I'm a commentator, not a politician. He said he was flattered. I guess he'd consider it.
I mean, he's done everything a guy at his level can do in his industry. Literally the best at what he does, the top of the game. I mean, he is at the top of the food chain in his industry, still, without the Fox News gig. By the way, I don't like this Roseanne interview. I'm not a huge fan. I got halfway through it. I'm just like, yeah, he's been doing some other podcasts. I'm just not a Roseanne fan.
Really? I've always liked her shows, Roseanne.
Sure.
I don't know how she does at doing interviews and things like that. Her programs have always been entertaining. Here is Tucker on why all of a sudden he's all in on Donald Trump.
What do you think?
I certainly support Trump, I'll tell you that. And I can tell you, I've always agreed with Trump's policies, always. And I lost friends over it. And I've never really actively supported anybody because it's not my job to actively support people. I watch, I like to watch. But I'm a voyeur.
Yeah.
But I became an active Trump supporter when they raided Mar-a-Lago last summer, the summer of 2022. That can't stand.
No, that can't.
And
that was something.
Agree with Trump on a lot. But even if I disagreed with Trump on a lot, I'd still be a Trump supporter because you cannot allow that. You cannot allow, the regime, the president of the United States, to use the Justice Department to knock the front runner out of the race. You can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
So it's bigger than Trump. It's bigger than Biden. It's a question of, do you want to live in a free country with a functioning justice system?
That's exactly
and
right.
So I'm voting for Trump. And if they convict him, I will send him the max donations and I will lead protests. That's how I feel. And by the way, if I thought that he had committed some real crime, I wouldn't feel that way, but he didn't. He and Biden are both found with classified documents at home, along with every other former high-level federal official in history.
Yeah.
But only Trump is indicted? Tell me how that works.
So there's a lot of people that feel the exact same way that Tucker Carlson does. Trump is their guy because the other side is so adamant to bring him down. And why is that? Because Donald Trump resonated with so many people, and he was a counterpuncher. So many Republicans, for a long time, not just recently, but for a long time, were just punching bags for the left. Donald Trump didn't do that. Now, on the subject of Tucker Carlson, listen to this piece of audio. This is a little awkward. You brought up Greg Gutfeld earlier.
Yeah.
Gutfeld and Tucker, pretty good friends. And Fox has clearly told everybody that's underneath of them, we're not talking about the Tucker Carlson situation.
Tucker moratorium.
Right.
Don't mention his name. They didn't even cover the Tucker Trump interview, which was a pretty big story a couple of months ago.
So Gutfeld was talking the other day about Elon Musk and how he's a champion for free speech, and he loves the fact that corporate sponsors can't bring down Elon Musk. And he made it a little uncomfortable on the set of his show when he brought up somebody else that was removed because of corporate sponsorship.
Musk may be the last man standing between real freedom of speech and the suffocating block of the censorship industrial complex, which is made up of government, media, and tech forces. He realizes that advertisers have no spine and can be easily cowed by special interest groups in cahoots with political allies. If you don't believe me, I got 2 words for you. Tucker Carlson.
Listen to the panel.
Ooh, wow. Look at that.
That was... I don't know why. It was just cringy because of the reaction. If I was in the crowd, I would have been standing up and applauding.
Right,
and he was totally, absolutely right. And because everybody's scared that Greg Gutfeld, who obviously has some sway, has some pull within Fox News Corp, that he mentioned Tucker Carlson on his show, which I'm sure... I wonder if he got in trouble for that. Probably.
Slap on the wrist.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not going to fire
Look,
Gutfeld.
nobody's untouchable. Nobody's untouchable in that corporation. We know that from Bill O'Reilly to Tucker Carlson.
Which brings us to great moments in Tucker Carlson history.
Okay.
This is when he had on his program the guy, I think he was running in Arizona, and his campaign ad was F the NRA, but he says the word in his campaign
You're
ad.
allowed, because it's a campaign ad, you're allowed to cuss for whatever law or whatever rule they have. But that was the crux of the ad, was F the NRA, but he actually said the word.
Tucker, we're not, this is exactly the type of arguments that don't get us where we need to be. We need new leaders in Congress.
Oh, it's not
That's
like
what people
F
are
the
getting
NRA.
behind.
That's the kind of argument we need. Oh, I thought politeness didn't work, tough guy.
Politeness is not working so far. If you woke up on Mother's Day and don't have your kid anymore,
you know what works?
you want
Actually,
somebody
facts
in Congress
work.
to step
Why don't you
up.
get some facts? Oh, Pat, do you like this new mode of
Tucker.
communication we have? F the NRA, Pat.
It'd be great to have. It'd be great
Learn
to have a
something about
conversation.
guns and
when
get
the
back to me.
NRA's
Interview over. Yeah, because you don't know what you're talking about.
Great moments in Tucker Carlson history when Michael Avenatti,
oh boy,
who was defending Stormy Daniels, came on his show, and he was very upset because Tucker would always refer to him as creepy porn lawyer.
Why don't you show
What's
some
disgusting
respect?
is
Why don't you
you are
show some
thriving
respect
and
to my
she is
client and me and stop calling us a porn star and a creepy porn lawyer? If you've got that big a
Well, I
problem
actually
with porn, do you have that big a problem
I'm
with
not
porn?
making fun of.
When's the last time?
Slow down.
When's the last time you saw porn?
Oh, you busted me. Actually, I made
When's the last
humiliation porn.
No,
That's
but-
why I watch you on CNN.
No, but when's the last time you viewed?
Incredible.
And this, I think,
Incredible.
counts as great moments in Tucker Carlson history.
That's it.
When AI Tucker came on our show and talked about us.
How about radio station WIBC in Indianapolis? Nigel Laskowski, or whatever the hell his name is, he can barely get through a segment without vomiting live on the air, probably because he's drunk. Of course, that's only on the rare day that he decides to come to work and do the afternoon drive show with his fat-ass co-host, Jason Hammer. Yeah, Hammer. I called you fat. Fat. Fat, fatty, fatty, fat, fat. What are you going to do about it? Not a damn thing. You're just going to sit there like the Jenny Craig dropout you are and forcibly pass gas into the seat of a chair that used to be occupied by Mike Pence, aren't you, Donut Dimples?
Great moments in Tucker Carlson history.
Did he say donut dimples at the end?
I believe he might have.
That was incredible.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Carl, we're calling an audible here. We're going to go check in with Matt Baer right now in the WIBC Traffic Center. And then after that, we're going to play a round of Am I a Horrible Person? Okay?
Okay.
This time, it's not about me.
It's not?
No. We will tell you the story after we check the roads with Matt Baer.
All right, Hammer, north side, eastbound 465 has a bad couple of crashes. One is at Westfield Boulevard. That's blocking 2 left lanes, stopping traffic back to Meridian 31. You will be stopped after that crash site all the way to Allisonville Road. Crash reported there, so stop traffic on eastbound 465 after Meridian to Allisonville Road because of crashes. On the east side, northbound 465 Lawrence, crash at Penn Pike, blocking the right lane, jamming traffic back to I-70. Traffic sponsored by Lowe's. Save big every day during Lowe's 25 days of deals. Shop daily deals for the whole home. Lowe's 25 days of deals. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, 42 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And we're going to open up the phone lines right now.
Oh, boy.
239-9393. Carl, you can go ahead and kill this music for right now. Normally, when we play this game, it's something that I've done. The game is called Am I a Horrible Person?
Where is this going?
Nigel, please tell the audience about your ice skating incident. You texted me over the weekend, and I think this warrants a discussion.
I have it right here. Hold on. Okay, so we went. I'm just going to text you. I'm going to read what I texted you. Hey, side note, we just went to the Carmel ice skating rink last night. It was effing packed like I've never seen. I was miserable. It's been at least 30 years since I've ice skated. I barely made it all the way around the rink once without wrecking. I looked at my wife and said, quote, "This is the worst idea you've ever had." Then me and Connor drove back home, and Lindsay and Harper took an Uber back home 2 hours later.
So let me lay this out there. Your family went ice skating.
Well, as a family, yes.
It wasn't necessarily your thing. So you left all the women in your family at the ice skating rink to fend for themselves and get an Uber to go home.
Now, my son, just so you know, wasn't having a good time either. He wanted to leave.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay.
I had to, at one point, I got my ice skates and turned my shoes in and realized I had to take a leak real bad. The restroom facilities over there, I had to stand there in my socks for 20 minutes to wait to get to the bathroom. I finally go to the bathroom, get back on the ice for the first time in 30 years. I never leave the railing around the rink. There's people packed around on the ground.
Right.
That I can't believe I didn't wreck. And then I look at Lindsay, I go, this is the worst decision you've ever made, because it was her idea.
So you left her there. You left Lindsay and your beautiful daughter there to get an Uber, and you left.
She could tell I was not happy.
239-9393. Is Nigel a horrible person? Your calls are next.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Tony Katz here, and if you know me, you know I like my bourbon, and just like you, I like a good deal. So let me tell you about Hotel Tango Bourbon. Hotel Tango is a distillery right here in Indianapolis, started by Travis Barnes, a Marine who served 3 tours in Iraq. He wanted to craft spirits with the same discipline he learned in the Marine Corps. That's what Hotel Tango does. I've tried his bourbon. It's wonderful. It's a 4-grain bourbon with a distinct mash bill. You get a little caramel and some of that aroma. You get a nice rye kick to balance it out. I'm not the only one who thinks it's good. Wine Enthusiast gave it a 94, and it won a gold at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. It's also under $40. Did I mention that? One of the 10 best bourbons under $40, according to Wine Enthusiast. Try it for yourself. Head down to wherever you buy fine spirits and try Hotel Tango for yourself. You'll be supporting local, supporting veterans, and getting yourself a great, sippable, enjoyable bourbon at a great price. Thanks to Hotel Tango for sponsoring the show. Hotel Tango, distilled with discipline. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Hammer and Nigel here. When it comes to health, there are numbers every man needs to know, including your testosterone number. We recommend Low T Center. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. Walk in, take a simple blood test, and you'll know results in about 25 minutes.
Low T can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can cause lack of motivation and drive. It can raise cholesterol, cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass. LowTCenter.com. Book online right now. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular.
Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel present Am I a Horrible Person?
Dude, you're awful. Horrible. You're such a bad person. Like, all the way through to your core.
Usually we're doing this for Hammer. This time it's my turn. I'm Nigel. I went with my family ice skating at that, what's it called in Carmel? The Chris Crindle, I don't know, is the big ice skating rink there in Carmel, outdoors. And it was a family thing, and I made it one time around the rink. And I'm like, I'm getting out of here. I suck at this. I'm going to hurt myself. I go, Lindsay, this is the worst idea you've ever had. People that were outside of the rink heard me say that, started dying laughing. And she goes, fine, here's the keys. Get out of here then. So me and Connor left.
You took her up on it.
I took her. Yeah, I took her up.
You called her
on
bluff.
It. Her and Harper, my 9-year-old, stayed for another 2 hours and had to take an Uber home. I took my 12-year-old home and started watching football again. We were in heaven. I didn't have to be at this gigantic packed place.
So you left your women of your family there alone and made them get the Uber. Like, it wasn't like you gave her the keys and said, we'll take the Uber. You drove and made her pay to go home.
She gave me the keys. She goes, here, take the keys.
Oh, Nigel. Oh, Nigel.
She would have rather not had me there. Trust me. It was so packed.
Linda, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. What do you think?
I think he's a bad boy, and Santa's not going to come to see him this year.
Agreed.
And I
No
think
Santa.
girls need to take his credit card and go to Reese Nichols and get a charm.
There you go.
We're more Diamonds Direct people
we
over
like
here.
Diamonds Direct better. Thanks, Linda.
Reminder, make sure you guys' radios are turned down. Like the typical radio DJ thing to say right there. Mike, is Nigel a horrible person?
Yes and no. Yes, because, well, I'll go no first. No, because he wasn't happy in what he was doing, and I understand wanting to leave, but yes, Nigel's a horrible person because he made his son go with him instead of leaving his son there because it was a family event.
Yeah, trust me, he wanted to get out of there, too. It was a mommy-daughter event. They went to cake bake beforehand. You know?
Christopher, you are next up. Welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. Is Nigel a horrible person?
Absolutely not. Also, big shout out, Jason, you DJ'd my wedding. Nigel, it was in Lisbon, so double-double. But last time I went ice skating, it was absolutely awful. You're right. Too many people. You're smashing into everybody, especially like there's little kids. But then you get people who think they're like pro skaters.
Yes.
And you're like, bro, like get out of here with that. So I hurt for like a week after I took my 2 nieces last year, and I was like, I'm just not ever going to do this again. So no, you are all in the right.
Thank you, Mike.
That's Christopher.
The
thing is, it's not whether or not you like ice skating. I don't want to make that what this is about, because I don't like ice skating either. But you abandoned your family and said, pay for your way home. That, to me, is what this really is about.
Abandonment.
Terry, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
I abandoned my child.
What do you think, Terry?
No, he's not a horrible person. I've done the same thing at a movie. Got up and walked out because I didn't want to be at it. Didn't like it. Wasn't going to enjoy it, so I left and let them get a cab home. I didn't even care. But poor Uber.
Thank you, Terry.
Hey, I'm in good company with Terry.
You and Terry got to hang out. Go on a mandate with Terry. Fred, you're next up, Fred. Rock and roll.
Hey, man, no, that's a good deal. That was a good deal. I'd do it, too. All day long.
I think I got more.
Leave them there. Don't worry about them. Football's on, bud.
Yeah. Went back home and watched the end of that Alabama game. I didn't just leave them there. They had
You made him get an Uber because you're a gentleman. That's why. Like Christopher, the last guy, Fred, and Nigel are going to start like a fraternity. It's going to be like the movie Old School where they start their own fraternity. Mary Lee, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. Go ahead.
Hi. Well, I'm going to say that Nigel is not a bad guy. The reason is he manned up, and he went to cake bake beforehand, which I just found out.
Yeah.
Then he went to the skating rink, so he's trying to do what his wife and daughter probably would love to have him participate in with them.
Yeah.
And to give him kudos for even doing it, because I know too many men wouldn't even do it.
Thank you.
So big check mark and a positive
Female
column.
perspective there, Hammer. I am not a horrible person. I called it.
Get those tweets in, post on social media at Hammer and Nigel playing Am I a Horrible Person with Big Nige. All right, coming up next, our pal Daisy from the Chicks on the Right will join us. That conversation's coming up. Right now, Harrison Silcox has a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A fatal shooting along the interstate. 42 degrees and cloudy downtown. Nothing on your radar. Low of 31 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. A man was found shot and killed in a Nissan on Interstate 65 Sunday afternoon.
Our investigators are still working to answer a lot of the questions that we have about how this happened and who's responsible, and then they're working diligently to do that.
State Police Sergeant John Perrine says the vehicle was found stopped at the top of the ramp from northbound I-65 to southbound Martin Luther King Boulevard. Someone was carjacked in Lawrence late Sunday night. The two suspects ended up in Beech Grove early Monday, where they were spotted by a license plate reader. They led police on a short chase that ended at a dead-end street.
One of the individuals from the carjacked vehicle was located and taken into custody. The other one remains at large.
Lawrence Police Deputy Chief Gary Woodruff says the victim did the right thing by handing over the car. They're alive. Police are still looking for their last suspect. Time's running out for Congress to keep sending help to Ukraine. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
A vote against the more than $100 billion emergency funding bill from President Biden will hurt Ukraine and help Russia. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan warns.
I believe that any member of Congress who does not support funding for Ukraine is voting for an outcome that will make it easier for Putin to prevail.
Talks over a funding package that boosts aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan are stalled over immigration and border provisions sought by Republicans. House Republicans passed a standalone aid package for Israel, rejected by Senate Democrats because it was tied to spending cuts for the IRS. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
A former U.S. ambassador to Bolivia has been charged for acting as a foreign agent for Cuba.
The complaint alleges that Rocha sought out and used his positions within the United States government to support Cuba's clandestine intelligence gathering mission against the United States.
Attorney General Merrick Garland says Victor Manuel Rocha was caught bragging to an undercover agent, saying his work had strengthened the revolution. You're paying an average of $3.01 per gallon of gas in Indiana today, says GasBuddy.com. And with traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, here it is. On the north side, two crashes eastbound. 465 has stopped traffic from Meridian all the way over to Allisonville Road. The delay time right now is running about an hour 25 minutes. So eastbound 465 crash, Westfield Boulevard blocking two left lanes. And again, eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road, crash blocking two left lanes. Traffic stop from Meridian to Allisonville Road. Lawrence, northbound 465 crash at Penn Pike blocking the right lane. Traffic stop and go 270. Stay off Meridian at 30th. Crash there possible. Entrapment outbound lanes of Meridian are stopped. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A mostly cloudy night is ahead with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll start our Tuesday with a wintry mix before we change over to all rain by the afternoon hours. Highs in the low to mid-40s. If any snow accumulation occurs, it will be very little. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the WIBC hotline.
She is one half of the Chicks on the Right program. Our pal Amy Jo. She goes by Daisy. How are you, love?
I'm good. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
These are strange times we're living in, Daisy, because if somebody just woke up from a coma from a couple of years ago and you tried to tell them that Fredo, Chris Cuomo, is now open to voting for Trump. Meanwhile, Trump is very proud to accept the endorsement from BLM. It'd be a hard sell on that individual.
It's so freaking weird. So then he backtracked. Fredo backtracked on that. But that so many people who voted for Biden have buyer's remorse. They just don't want to say it out loud. So think of all your friends from high school, the ones on Facebook that were all like, oh my God, Biden Harris. He's gonna bring stability back to the White House, and she's such a good role model for my daughter. And now it's crickets from those people because they're trying to figure out how to afford gas and groceries and college tuition for that daughter they thought Kamala would be a good role model for, right? So it's funny to me because he, I think, is not wanting to say out loud, I probably will vote for Trump if he is the nominee, but he probably will pull the lever for him. There's a lot of people that will do that, right? Because their lives suck right now.
Well, him and Don Lemon, that back-to-back combo that we got during CNN's primetime lineup, they were some of the biggest never-Trumpers you would find. And now he's doing podcasts going, well, yeah, I'm open to voting for Trump.
Yeah, man, he's backtracking. Oh, I never said that. I never said it. Yeah, you did, dude. It's there's a thing called video that we can show you, and you said it. Oh my God!
But I really don't understand. My jaw hit the floor when I saw Donald Trump post on Truth Social. Glad to have the support of BLM.
Yeah, this is craziness. Now, of course, BLM is denouncing that Mark Fisher guy, the dude who endorsed him. They're saying he's an imposter. Now, I honestly don't know if he's an imposter or not, but Trump should be clearly aligning himself with black people, sure, but absolutely disavowing BLM because they're Marxist, you guys. They're a scam. Like Patrice Cullors is fattening up her bank account and buying herself a bunch of luxury real estate, not helping actual black people. So, Trump has helped black colleges and universities. He's helped with black job growth and opportunity. He's done all that stuff.
Prison reform with Kourtney Kardashian and Kanye West.
Yeah, he's done that, and that's great. He can say he's done all that, but he needs to draw a clear delineation between black Americans and BLM because there is a clear difference between the two.
And this is the same conversation that we've been having since the Summer of Love. There's a difference between believing Black Lives Matter, which, of course, anybody with common sense says yes, but the political organization, Black Lives Matter, the one that took donations and never gave it back to the inner city, that's something totally different.
Yeah, and I don't understand why, because we have a lot of Trump followers who are in our audience, and so I don't get why Trump supporters aren't saying, yeah, this is probably a not so good move. They're just so loyal that they can't say, yeah, this is probably a mistake. Like whenever he makes a misstep or if he does make a mistake, they just can't say when he does that. You know what I mean? Like, why is that?
Yeah, and this is going to roll off his back. I think it's already rolled off his back anyway. I think people have already forgotten about it. It's Teflon Don, right?
I guess, sure. It's just that, but I do think they are a Marxist, they're a socialist organization. You just cannot align yourself with that, especially when you have true conservatives out there. They're like, yeah, that's not okay. Don't do that.
Let's backtrack just a little bit because you were talking about Trump supporters and how loyal they are to their guy. And I think that can be viewed in a couple different ways here because I was watching that Gavin Newsom, Ron DeSantis debate on Fox last week, and I'm scrolling through my timeline. I'm looking at social media just to see what people are thinking about this. And the Trump supporters were openly rooting for Gavin Newsom. Now, not all of them, but some of the loud blue checkmark Donald Trump supporters were clearly rooting for Gavin Newsom in that debate. One of the biggest, if not the most liberal ass bag governors in the country. You know, for a group of people who for so long were saying CNN and MSNBC, they hate conservatives, they hate Republicans, they've kind of turned a 180 here, and now they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, isn't it weird? Because it's not about policy with us. You know, it's like, and it should be. It should be about policy. It shouldn't just be about a person. It should be about all the policy with conservatives. But, I mean, the DeSantis-Gavin thing, a lot of people are like, this is a dumb thing for him to do. I disagree. It showed America, like, red versus America blue. But it also elevated what good governing is. It showed, you know, DeSantis is a good governor, and Newsom literally destroyed a state. You know, I mean, California is a beautiful place. I have a kid who lives there. But, man, I could not wait to get out of there the last time I visited. I couldn't wait to leave. So, I mean, he was faced with actual data. I mean, in that debate, he was faced with, here's a chart of what's actually happening. And when faced with the chart, he still lied.
Yeah, right.
The guy's like the greasiest weasel on the planet. And listen, I could not stop thinking about the fact that he actually weaseled his way into Kimberly Guilfoyle's pants at one point, you guys. That happened.
Right.
That's how slick this dude is.
What did they talk about?
I don't even know. I mean, but
did they go on dates with Keith Olbermann and Laura Ingraham? Did they double date and go out together?
Don't even know. But every time I see him, I can't get that out of my head. I'm like, he actually slept with her at one point. Like, I mean, that's how slick he is.
Right. And going back to the Trump supporters, though, and I'm not, ripping on Donald Trump. I voted for Donald Trump twice. If he's the nominee, I will vote for him for a third time. But
I'm right there with you.
Don't tell me that you're rooting for Gavin Newsom because you view Ron DeSantis as a rival. That's a bad look.
Well, listen, that is the difference between Democrats and Republicans, Jason, because, when it comes to us, we don't rally, they rally. And so we're like I always say we're like middle school girls, right? We're very cliquey. And they're like frat boys. Frat boys are like, yeah, we all love each other, man. Let's go have a kegger. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we're the middle school girls who are super cliquey, and we just all hate each other for like the dumbest reasons ever. And that's who we are. We're just so dumb.
Yeah, there seems like a lot of friendly fire, a lot of crossfire in the Republican Party, in the conservative movement right now. The Democrats seemed at least much more aligned on most of the policy.
Yeah, but I will tell you, though, it's like one of his best lines, Gavin, he said, neither one of us will be our party's nominee in 2024. I absolutely disagree with that because you can't believe anything out of this guy's mouth. And I still think he's going to be the nominee because there's no way they're going to run Joe. People have floated the idea of Michelle Obama. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't. If it is, if she's the nominee, oh, my God, I think it's over for us. But I think it's going to be – I still think it's going to be Gavin. I think they've been grooming him, that trip or not the trip, but the trip from his trip to China and then he coming over. I think that was it's foreshadowing. And I think everything they've been doing with this guy and him just being at the forefront, I'm sorry, you can't convince me otherwise. I think he's going to be the guy.
Daisy from Chicks on the Right with us. One more thing here before we let you go. And again, on the subject of the Republicans not sticking together the way the Democrats do, I look at George Santos getting kicked out of the House of Representatives. Now, I agree. This guy's a real zero. I have no problem with him being shown the door. But when you look at some of the other zeros that are in the House of Representatives that have done way worse things, you had Eric Swalwell sleep with a Chinese spy, and he was on the Intel Committee. You've got Democrat members pulling fire alarms like Jamal Bowman to avoid votes on the floor. The Democrats have no problem with that. But the Republicans, they're so thirsty to be liked, by the Democrats, and they don't want to be called bad names. They kick out Santos, but yet Mayorkas, who is a complete dumpster fire, is still in charge of Homeland Security at the border. They had the opportunity in the House to impeach him, or at least move it forward, and they couldn't do that.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah. But I mean, is he the worst person in Congress? No. I mean, because y'all have heard the audio tapes of Sheila Jackson Lee verbally abusing your staff. Have you guys heard?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God, the stuff that woman gets away with. And then all the new ones, the 4 horsewomen of the apocalypse, like AOC, Rashida, Ilhan, and Ayanna. Like, those women are the absolute worst. And then, I mean, I could go on and on, right? I mean, the guy, I guess you could say he deserves to be expelled. Did you guys know that he joined Cameo? You could.
How much?
I'm not even kidding.
I know what I'm getting Daisy for Christmas.
It's $150 to wish your cousin Sally a Merry Christmas from George Santos. I kid you not. That's the thing. Like, you thought it was like when we first got on this phone call, you're like, everything is crazy in Borg, Daisy. Yeah, like this is where we're at. And
but 100 Republicans, over 100, said, yeah, we're going to kick this guy out. And I'm wondering how many of those 100 voted against trying to remove Mayorkas from his position.
I hear you. I totally hear you. I know. It takes me back to the DeSantis and Gavin thing, where anybody who says the border is secure right now, and he was one of those, I mean, you're just not a serious human being. You're not. I just discount you.
Yeah, I loved what DeSantis did with that debate because he got Gavin on the record. Gavin says Bidenomics are working. Gavin thinks Joe Biden's got all of his mental faculties. He's still got his fastball. Fine. You own this thing then.
Yeah, that guy's a loon. He's a liar and a loon. And it just shows you this is what the left is right now. He's a perfect representative of Democrats at this point, of liberalism.
The chicks on the right, they have a show they do every day. They've got an awesome rockin' website, and Daisy is a part of that. Daisy, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, it's Rob. I started losing hair around my crown, and my hairline was starting to recede. I went to We Grow Hair Indy, and they helped grow my hair back. My friend Dave First, a sports broadcaster for over 20 years, also struggled with hair loss. Dave, what happened?
My thinning hair was bothering me. For me, I'm in the public eye. I'm a dad also, and I want to look and feel my best. And if I'm going to do something about my hair, I want to go with the best. We Grow Hair Indy. They really set the standard.
Dave, that's amazing. I had the same procedure, multi-unit hair grafting transplants, which gives you more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Call 317-522-2995 for your free hair and scalp evaluation. Find out if hair transplants or PRP is right for you.
If you're thinking about this, don't waste your time or money. Go to the experts.
Call 317-522-2995, 522-2995, or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com, the gold standard for hair restoration.
The holiday season is here, and your shopping begins and ends at Premier Arms in Brownsburg. 3754 South Green Street, PremierArms.com. You've got the firearms with Premier Arms, the accessories, all at fantastic prices, new and used firearms, and of course, PA Jewelers, the jewelry store inside Premier Arms with the one-of-a-kind jewelry selection, the diamonds, the gold, the silver, the gemstones, everything you want this Christmas season. Get a gift card today to Premier Arms. It is the gift that they will love this holiday season. PremierArms.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your independent, locally owned American Standard hometown dealer in Johnson County, Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling. Are you tired of the free air conditioner or furnace sketchy claims and want an honest quote with honest pricing from people who live and work in your community? Call Marshall Mechanical. Just go to callthemarshallnow.com to schedule an appointment. Financing options are available, subject to credit approval. Call for details. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County.
You only have one heart, so let's keep it near everyone it beats for. Franciscan Health is leading the way as the only hospital in Indiana to be recognized as one of HealthGrade's 100 best hospitals for cardiac care and coronary intervention in 2024. We're delivering award-winning heart care in your neighborhood, near everyone you love, because our greatest reward is caring for you. Learn more about our compassionate, patient-focused approach to heart care. Visit us at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
You've heard the buzz about IT jobs in cybersecurity and AI, right? Why not prepare for a career in these fields and take advantage of the high demand? You could enjoy a more rewarding and recession-resistant lifestyle. Train in just a few short months at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Already in IT? Skill up for positions employers need to fill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Boost Infinite's new wireless technology switches between networks for the best service at a lower price. Switch today. Go to Amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15 today.
There's a lot of sexy content on the internet. And there's WIBC, full of faces meant for radio. Hammer and Nigel, Kendall and Casey. Okay, Casey could be on TV. Now streaming every day on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/WIBC.
Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
Nigel, north side, we are stopped right now on eastbound 465 from Meridian 31 over to Allisonville Road. And the ramp from southbound 31 to eastbound is backed up onto 31. There are two crashes on eastbound, one at Westfield Boulevard, the other before Allisonville Road, blocking multiple left lanes. Lawrence, crash. Northbound 465 at Penn Pike, right lane block, stop and go traffic to Washington Street. South side, crash eastbound 465 after Man Road. That has a stop and go back to I-70. Watch out for Meridian at 30th. That's a crash. Outbound lane's a little bit slow right now approaching that intersection. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Donate to my digital kennel for the Salvation Army Radiothon at WIBC.com.
41 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC. Man, there's something in the water in your birthplace of Beech Grove. Something's going around, man. Another interesting, violent weekend in Beech Grove and the surrounding counties here.
Just another weekend in Marion County, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we'll touch on the latest drama of a wild 24 hours in Circle City coming up in just a moment.
One of the things I am looking forward to next year is the Rolling Stones tour. I am going to try to go. I'd love to see them. I mean, this has got to be their final tour, right?
Did you see them when they went to the Speedway?
I did not get to go. And again, another show that I regret not going to. Rob Kendall sat in the audience for like 10 hours, worming his way up to the front of the stage. It's hilarious.
Nobody worms better than Rob Kendall.
And yes, by the way, it's no joke. The Rolling Stones concert is sponsored by AARP, the American Association of Retired People. In fact, here's the commercial.
Get ready for the Rolling Stones on the AARP Senior Moments Tour. I take lots of medication.
Nice.
To relieve my constipation. The Rolling Stones AARP Senior Moments Tour. Playing all of your senior moment favorites. Under my chair, I dropped the TV remote.
Oh, no.
The Rolling Stones AARP Senior Moments Tour. Tickets on sale now. All shows start at 3:30 p.m. Somebody help me up. Because I'm falling and I can't get up.
Yeah, there we go.
You gotta help me up.
Because I'm falling and I can't get up.
Listen, I'm not anywhere near 80 years old, and I still need a little help getting up from time to time.
Well, look, I mean, is there anybody in better shape than Mick Jagger in that age range? He's geriatric. He's like 80 years. I mean, he's an octogenarian. I mean, put him and Joe Biden side by side. It's not even close.
No, Mick Jagger right now could go to Broad Ripple and pick up a chick. Joe Biden right now is asleep. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Well, when you have a lot of people talking about testosterone, you need to do your homework. You need to go somewhere to a provider that you could trust. We recommend Low T Center because they specialize specifically in men's wellness and customized testosterone treatment. At the Low T Center, they make it easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test in their on-site lab. You'll get your results back in about 25 minutes.
Low T Center is not like a typical doctor's office where you have this long wait. The Low T Center really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. They get you in, they get you out. As a matter of fact, you can even get self-inject at-home treatments that ship directly to your home so you don't have to drive to the doctor's office or wait in line. And right now, at the Low T Center, it's only $25 to get your T level tested, and you get your results back in about 25 minutes. Go to lowtcenter.com to book that appointment. lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hey there, it's Hammer and Nigel with some fantastic news from AAA Hoosier Motor Club. For a limited time, our listeners can grab a 1-year AAA Classic membership and enjoy a whopping 50% off. I can vouch for the savings. My AAA membership practically pays for itself.
And let's talk about their legendary roadside service. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas, lock your keys in the car. AAA's got your back 24/7, 365. Visit AAA.com/gift. 844-GO-AAA-GO or swing by your local AAA office today.
My name is Donita, and I cared for my mother for 8.5 years. There were times where I was like, I can't do this alone. Then I found CareForth. They gave me the resources and the confidence to care for Mom at home. They even paid me. I'm so happy I was able to care for Mom, but even more grateful I wasn't alone. When I say they're like family, I mean it.
Caring for a loved one at home? Get support and get paid by visiting careforth.com. That's careforth.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Do you have a crawl space? Do you know what's in your crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, a real local Indiana family-owned crawl space and basement repair contractor. Protect your family and your home from your unhealthy crawl space by calling Indy's most trusted, award-winning experts for a free crawl space consultation at 317-407-1868 or SwainCoLLC.com. And don't forget to ask about our easy, no-interest, no-payment financing.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio, brought to you by Everwise Credit Union. Discover the financial solutions to control your money and your business at everwisecu.com. I'm Kate Sharon. Reverend Robert A. Dowd will be the next president of the University of Notre Dame, university officials announced on Monday. He will serve as Notre Dame's 18th president after its current president, Reverend John Jenkins, announced he will step down at the end of the school year. Dowd is currently vice president and associate provost for interdisciplinary initiatives at Notre Dame, a role he's occupied since 2021. He is also an associate professor of political science and serves on the Notre Dame Board of Trustees. Indianapolis area brokers are bullish on the future of the local retail sector as occupancy rates grow in the aftermath of the pandemic and demand for space outstrips supply in some suburbs. The industry's inventory has been generally stable in the wake of the pandemic. In fact, retail stock has increased slightly from 46.3 million square feet in the first quarter of 2020 to just over 46.6 million during the same time frame this year, according to data from the Indianapolis office of Chicago-based brokerage Cushman & Wakefield. Bill French, executive director and retail broker for Cushman & Wakefield, said, quote, "The retail sector is performing extraordinarily well, given the circumstances of the past 3 years." From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
I'm Christopher Day, the CEO of Elevate Ventures. We are the number one most active venture capital firm in the Great Lakes region and number 20 in the U.S. We invest in innovative Indiana companies. Today, Indiana has monikers including Amateur Sports Capital of the World, Racing Capital of the World, and Crossroads of America. Now is our opportunity as a state to chart the next 50 years. The productivity boom is well underway, and Indiana has the opportunity to become the innovation capital of the world. Visit elevateventures.com/why Indiana to learn more.
A new Wallet Hub study ranks Indiana as the 6th worst state to find a job, citing limited opportunities, its unemployment rate, and job growth. The personal finance website compared all 50 states across 2 key measures, job market and economic environment. Indiana scored a 44.23 out of 100. The highest ranked state was Washington at 68.04. Veteran broadcast journalist John Stayer is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond, available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Kate Sharon for 93 WIBC.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress. A mom. We're all part of your community. Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty, something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not. It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Deidre Hall with a message about your eye health. My mother had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD, which means my family members are at greater risk.
I'm Dr. Sada of Doheny UCLA. AMD is the most common cause of severe, irreversible vision loss in older adults. If a healthcare professional suspects AMD, a retina specialist can confirm the diagnosis and work with you on a treatment plan.
Routine eye care can help maintain your vision. Visit geteyesmart.org for more information.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Donnie Burgess reports on a carjacking in Lawrence. Indiana State Police are investigating a fatal shooting on I-65 that happened Sunday. And the Indiana Pacers are getting ready for a matchup with the Celtics tonight. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 6 o'clock.
Israel ramping up their attacks. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. Israeli forces now widening their airstrikes and ground assault. They're targeting Gaza's second largest city. Fox's Nate Foy.
Intense bombing of the southern Gaza city of Han Yunis continues as an IDF general says operations in the northern Gaza Strip are nearing an end. IDF soldiers are going door to door, clearing out Hamas terrorists. The IDF struck weapons storage facilities and 2 Hamas tunnel shafts located inside a school. Israeli fighter jets are also striking southern cities like Han Yunis.
Many Palestinians who fled south last month will likely be forced to move again. The Biden administration says they've been urging Israel to warn civilians ahead of attacks.
We've seen a much more targeted request for evacuations here, where the Israeli Defense Forces have identified specific neighborhoods where they plan to conduct military operations.
State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller. The White House pressuring Congress to pass a massive spending package aimed at keeping weapons and military assistance flowing to Ukraine, as well as Israel.
A vote against the more than $100 billion emergency funding bill from President Biden will hurt Ukraine and help Russia, White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan warns.
I believe that any member of Congress who does not support funding for Ukraine is voting for an outcome that will make it easier for Putin to prevail.
Talks over a funding package that boosts aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan are stalled over immigration and border provisions sought by Republicans. House Republicans passed a standalone aid package for Israel, rejected by Senate Democrats because it was tied to spending cuts for the IRS. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Treasury Department announcing a new strike force aimed at fighting fentanyl trafficking. This comes as the U.S. and China ramp up efforts to stop the movement of drug-making chemicals flowing in to the U.S. over the southern border. America is listening to Fox News.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How the cops found the car. 41 degrees and cloudy downtown. All clear with your radar. Low of 31 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 6:02. Someone was carjacked in Lawrence Sunday night. Donnie Burgess reports a piece of high-tech equipment helped police sniff out the criminals.
License plate readers in Beech Grove made quick work of 2 suspects who stole a car in Lawrence Sunday night. Within hours, police had the stolen car in their sights.
Driver and passenger of that vehicle did not yield. Instead, fled in the vehicle, leading Beech Grove officers on a very short vehicle pursuit.
Lawrence Deputy Police Chief Gary Woodruff says the suspects were stuck on a dead-end road and tried to make a run for it. One suspect was caught thanks to the help from Indy Metro Police. One suspect is still on the run. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
State police in Indianapolis are looking for witnesses in a case where a man was found shot and killed in a van on I-65 Sunday afternoon.
Maybe they heard the gunfire, or they heard something they thought was gunfire. Maybe they saw a vehicle interacting with this Nissan Quest minivan. Maybe they saw a person in or around this van in that area. So anything that somebody saw could be valuable to our case.
State Police Sergeant John Perrine says, give State Police a call if you know anything. IMPD says a fatal police shooting inside a semi-trailer last Thursday at a McDonald's at the south side was a hostage situation. Officers responded to a call for help. They showed up to Lamont Bland's truck to ask him a few questions. Bland ignored them, but police broke out the driver's side window after they say they heard a woman inside shouting for help. Officers tried to talk with Bland while he threatened to kill the woman with a knife. Once he was inside the truck, the officers shot Bland when they saw him standing over the woman, who turned out to be okay. Indiana Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle says the in-season tournament this year has allowed his young players to play in meaningful games.
We need our building to be as loud and raucous as it possibly can, and we're going to need to throw a game out there that's exceptional. And I realize it, and I think our players realize it.
They play the Celtics tonight at 7:30 Eastern. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 6:04.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
Over the years, I've had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
And Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
I had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December.